3 of the Rally Fighters Rallycross, and tonight we're coming from that place in France. The reason I say that place in France is because I'm rubbish at saying it, and I'm not going to make a total plank of myself by doing so. Well, I might do later, it all depends, but I'm not doing it yet. And alongside me is my able, I could say my able deputy for this evening, otherwise known as Kyle. You've met him before, you'll meet him again. Good evening.
How's it going?
Not too bad, thank you. We're due to have thunderstorms tonight, allegedly, but hey, you never know. It's all part of global warming. But yeah. this should be interesting tonight. This is the first RF2, isn't it? First RF2, and for those lucky people that are here tonight, you get to see me in race 3 of this heat. Yeah, it will be sad, it will be bad, but hey, we can but try. Got to make an effort, haven't we? Got to practice what I preach. And if I'm really that rubbish, then hey, what the hell? I am not rubbish. I have much experience of doing this as an amoeba has of flying.
This is how we learn. This is how we learn.
Absolutely, we got to do this. And the chat's open again tonight, guys. So if anybody wants to watch us, I mean, what else would you want to watch other than this? Come on, be real. So if you do want to watch us, pop yourself in on the chat, say hello, and we'll just ignore you all that. We are joking. So anyway, without further ado, we are straight into this evening. Straight into the first heat of tonight.
We've got a bit of a mat battle going on here. We've got 2 mats from our community.
This is true. We're not wiping our feet on any of these guys. As they are quite quick, to be fair. Mr. Morris and Mr. Care Bear.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have had a worse name, couldn't he? I'm just trying to think. But
and we've got Kenny Shep, so it's 3 British drivers in this.
This is true.
1 German and a South African.
This is very, very multinational. Or something. We're all ready to go. Hopefully we'll have no issues tonight. Everyone will be fine and dandy and good to go. And we are off. And I think currently Mr. Care Bear got off to a good start.
And Kenny at the front there.
He's in the happy yellow and pink, which was made famous last week by Artem, if I remember, in the Ford Focus in a pretty similar livery. And that's the McCool pink and yellow, and he's flying around this lovely French track, which I will keep calling a French track.
Very answer is taking the Joker left, you can see there.
Yeah, Sean's decided to get that one in first. Obviously we are 4 lap races tonight, gents, in the qualifying, for those of you that might have watched last time out, which was obviously our finals night, which is 6 laps. But these are 4.
Looking pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty tight this, isn't it? Because these are obviously only 300 brake horsepower cars as opposed to sort of like 560, 580 for the others. But they still look quite...
You won't see these go very sideways compared to the other cars, because it slows them down quite a bit.
Yeah, someone went very wide there. He was trying to cross back into Spain then, I think. He was going that wide. But I'm saying nothing. You wait until you see me. I'll probably be in a different continent, so don't worry. But we will do our best. We will endeavour to do our level best. But in the meantime, we've got Berries there, who's currently in 3rd place. Ooh, that looked as if it was going to be closer than it was. It was just the angle, I think, that I was looking at that. That looked really, really close. Oops. Berries has overcooked it. Berries has overcooked it. Oh, he's done a 720. He did a 720.
That was quite impressive.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But that was a 720. That has got to be a record. That has to be a record. In the meantime,
so Care Bear is still winning in the front.
Yeah, Matt's got a nice 1.5 second lead. However, I'm led to believe I was given some inside information by Magnus earlier on to say that the Joker lap here is much shorter than in Spain. It's only about 1 to 1.5 second difference, rather than Spain being.
Not much difference here. You can actually get a super fast Joker here, and it's almost the same as the other way, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not much to gain or lose by it, or certainly not a lot, as you can see there.
But if you take it right, then it's empty, and you have a free open track to work with.
But you could see there with Matt, obviously he just took that, and he still retained what was at the time about a 1.5 second lead. Oh, Mr. Morris
is on the final corner as well.
Yeah, I don't think he's not
Maybe
passed.
he's run out of fuel.
Oh, what happened there? That was an earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't finish. He got a DNF. But
I think he might have ran out of fuel or blown his engine or something.
He's done something there, hasn't he? Definitely done something there. That was really interesting end to that race. But in the meantime, Mr. Matt, otherwise known as Care Bear, takes the first heat tonight. 36.9 was his fastest. Sean not far behind with a 37.0. Kenny Shepherd 37.6. So 36.9. So we're looking at probably certainly 36s are going to be the times to get, certainly in the first heat anyway, to get us into the top 12. I never thought to ask you that, but I'm assuming the top 12 go through.
Yes, it's the same as the Supercross.
I forgot to ask you that one. That's my fault. I assumed it was.
Drivers, that's all.
This is true, so that means I've got more chance of getting in. Yeah, right. Even if there was only 12 of us, I probably still wouldn't make.
So now I'm going to be showing you guys my skills for this race.
Absolutely. We were impressed last time.
Unfortunately, I don't have any, so I'll check you on the other side.
They'll still probably be better than mine. Have a blast anyway.
Thanks.
I'm sure you will. So we're coming into heat 2 then of round number 1. Obviously, for those of you that have not been au fait with Rallycross and how it works, I'll try and explain it a little bit as quickly as I can. Basically, for the qualifying evenings, as tonight, whether it's RF2 or Rallycross itself, the actual supercars later on, the idea of the qualifying night is to get yourself into the top 12. How do you do that? Basically, we're split into various rounds. So effectively, for the supercars, you will have 4 rounds. So you will have 4 rounds, probably of 4 heats, because obviously the number of people that we have will need to be split into heats, and we've usually got around about the 20-22 mark. So looking at that, you need 4 heats. So effectively, within those 4 heats, everybody gets to race. The fastest time within that particular set of heats obviously gets the main points, and obviously in a sliding scale coming down. The same happens in heat 2, heat 3, heat 4, and round 2, round 3, round 4. And ultimately at the end of the qualifying, after all the 4 rounds of 4 sets of heats, everybody will have raced 4 times. They will all have a cumulative total. So those cumulative totals that are achieved over the previous races will determine their position in the table and decide whether or not they qualified in the top 12. If they have done so, then they will be racing on Wednesday night in a finals night. The same thing happens here for RF2, for basically the lights, because these are much less brake horsepower than the monsters that we'll be seeing a little later. These are around the 300 brake horsepower, again not to be sniffed at, but in terms against when placed against the supercars, then obviously they're only about half, just over half of the power that they have, which is why you don't quite see quite so much drifting, etc, etc, because there's not quite the same amount of power. But hey, it's good entry level, which is why I'm doing it after, because me in a supercar would probably be very, very dangerous. But we'll find out after this, won't we, because you'll be in my heat next. So hopefully we're going to get ourselves ready. So in this heat we have the wonderful K9, otherwise known as Kyle. We also have Jacques Racing, which sounds French, I know, with a name like Jacques, but no, he's South African, so tough, you'll have to put up with that. We've got Ratek, who's in the sort of, what colour do you call that? It's yellow and pink, isn't it? I don't know who came up with that livery, it's hideous. And then we got Hazard 101 also in there, and working on the cameras for us this evening and giving us the perfect views that we want to see will be Berries 150, who's taking over the mantle from Kyle for this race. I don't know if you can hear me. Berries, are you in here? Maybe so, maybe not, don't worry. If you're not, you're not, that's not a problem. But at the moment we're just waiting, I think we're just waiting on one to be joining us. I So we've got somebody that we're waiting on. Usually we give them about 30 seconds. If they're not in within 30 seconds, then tough. But I think we've just got Helmer in. He's just joined us. He's managed to jump in. So well done. You just about made it there, Helmer, mate. But you make up the 5 because we got 5 in each of these heats. So we're getting ready to go. Oh, well, we were getting ready to go. Sean says he didn't want to hit berries off in the first race. Yeah, it very much looked like it from ours, but hey, it could have been a bit of lag, it could have been anything. I know you wouldn't have meant it, nobody means it. It is one of those things in the type of racing that this is. To have no or little contact is nigh on impossible. I think it's great credit to the guys that each week we don't have an absolute wreck fest, because it would be very, very easy to do so in this type of racing, let's face it. So in all fairness, I think the fact that we don't have that is testament to the guys, and the fact that they all try and race as clean as possible. Anyway, third time of asking, we're ready to rock and roll into heat 2 of round 1. So this will be interesting to see. Like I say, this track, in the way it's laid out, actually when you look at the map of the track, it doesn't look anything like when you're watching it, if that makes any sense. The track map looks very, very basic and straightforward, but when you actually see the cars, when you see the corners for what they are in reality, it does give a distorted view of it. And the same with the Joker lap as well. It kind of looks here as if it's got a much tighter cornering in it than it actually does have in reality. Anyway, here we go for heat number 2 of round number 1. So we are currently looking at Jacques Racing and Hazard 101. Everybody's there in position, the cars are bouncing, which means we're just about ready to rock and roll. And there we go again, just waiting on the lights then for all the guys to get away. Pedals will be there on the metal, the engines will be revving and going completely and utterly mental, as much as I can't hear them, because if I could hear them, you'd get them coming through my mic as well, which would look and sound terrible. So it's kind of weird for me, because I'm watching this with no noise. This is really, really weird. Anyway, we are ready to rock and roll. So Ratek, who is teammate of Care Bear, I said you match them together, you get their attack. That is a cracking start on the right hand side there. Somebody's been left. Who's been left? Helmer. What happened to Helmer? He's just been left on the starting grid. Something's obviously gone wrong with his wheel there. I reckon his wheel's not calibrated and it's onto controller. That is a shame. Sorry about that, mate. Right, we've got one going for a Joker lap straight away. In the meantime, we've got Ratek in the lovely pink and yellow livery, chasing Hazard 101. And Jacques Racing is obviously in the lead at the moment. I thought somebody had done the Joker. Yeah, I thought Kyle had done the Joker then. Nothing came up and it's just come up now. That confused me. It doesn't take much to confuse me, trust me. But in the meantime, Jacques Racing and Ratek are 1 and 2. Hazard and Kyle having a right battle royal there. As much as Kyle's 3.5 seconds down, he's done the Joker lap already, although it's not as big as an advantage as it was in Spain. As I said earlier, it could still be an advantage, so it could still play in. In the meantime, Ratek is flying around. He's doing quite well there. He's just come off the Joker, hasn't he? Yeah, of course he did. Yay! And Mr. Care Bear saying, go Ratek. He's giving him all that support. Go on. It must spur him on that little bit more. So, in the meantime, here we go. We're into lap 3. We've got Jacques Racing still leading, but obviously he hasn't done his Joker lap, so I think Ratek is the de facto leader at this point. It certainly looks it. Hazard 101 in 3rd, chased by Kyle K9 in 4th. Poor old Helmer got left on the starting grid, unfortunately. That's a bit of a downer for him. That's really going to affect his chances. But you never know. Weirder things can happen, dude. So everyone's done the Joker. They're all in position. Jacques Racing just managed to hold out. There's about 0.5 of a second. There's a battle royal going on between Jacques Racing and Ratek, and in all fairness, that's a proper fight. That's a proper fight. But I think Jacques Racing is going to hold on here, unless he goes too wide there. No, he didn't. He managed to hold on. That's a pretty epic race, in all fairness. As we come around, any last-minute disasters? I think Ratek's really trying to go for it there. He was really trying to put the power slide in there, but I don't think he was able to quite get it off coming out the corner. He needed to get enough torque coming out of that corner just to straighten himself up quicker, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. So Jacques Racing takes it from Ratek, and with Kyle coming in third, a creditable third there. That gets him on the podium. I know there's only 5 of us, but it still gets him on the podium. Lap times a little bit slower than Heat 1, but again, not bad. 37.7 for Jacques Racing, a 38 dead for Ratek, 38.4. There's not much in it actually. I think apart from Mr. Care Bear there, who had a 36 time, everybody else is pretty close in 37s and 38s, etc. So Helmer did manage to get off the grid eventually and managed to get himself a 38 too, but not really.
Okay, that was interesting. Still there, Scott? Oh, something's happened here. Scott, we seem to have lost your sound. I don't know if you're still talking. Scott, you're still radio silent on my side. I can't hear anything. I'm not sure what's happening with
to make sure that I'm still
there
here.
You go.
That's okay, I'm still here. My headset decided to play some silly games with me, which wasn't very helpful.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, you were out for a while since my race finished, I think.
Wow, it was literally only for about 3 or 4 seconds on mine. It just came up and it just said power off in that very Americanized accent it comes out with. So I switched it back on, and then
we lost you there for a few minutes.
And I didn't know I was still talking away. Now I was still talking my usual crap, which it didn't say anything until afterwards.
Guys, technical difficulties.
Yay! This is what you get in live TV, man. You know, it's just, hey, you just got to go with the flow. All they missed was me waffling on about saying how rubbish I was, and that you get my view for this race probably, and if you did get my view for this race, then you'll probably see everything because everyone will be in front of me.
No,
you did all right in the last race.
You'll do well.
You did all right. You got a third.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was quite a battle I had there with.
Poor old Helmer got left on the start line. He didn't move. He did get going in the end, obviously, but I'm not sure what happened to him there, if I'm honest. I don't know whether his wheel maybe didn't calibrate and he tried using his controller, possibly. I hope that doesn't happen.
It's possible that he plugged in his wheel after he turned the game on.
Yeah,
it's always a no-no.
Yeah, well, I haven't done that. I've done everything off my wheel tonight to make sure that doesn't happen, so it better bloody not happen. I won't be impressed. Right, I'm pressing mine. Who's not in then? Who have we not got? We've got Steve, we've got Matsuzi, have we? Matsuzi?
No, I think it's Matsuzi.
Yeah, he's the only one missing.
He doesn't seem to be online.
Ah, okay. Not much we can do about that.
So we'll just give him, maybe he's hiding, so we'll give him a few seconds.
Yeah, well, like I say, we give everyone 30 seconds, don't we? So, to be fair, in that case, I need a stiff drink. In the fact that I haven't got a stiff drink, I'm going to have a raspberry Coke type drink, which is not made by Coca-Cola but the other company.
The other company.
Well, I said Coca-Cola, so I might as well say Pepsi now. Not that we're endorsing anyone, but if you want to send us, some royalties, Pepsi and Coca-Cola, for mentioning your names in our stream, then a few million rand wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah. I'm busy here drinking a Monster, so.
I don't need energy drinks. I'm full of energy. Unfortunately, it's all burnt out with my mouth, but that's another thing entirely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if Matsuzi is going to join us then. So
it doesn't look like it. That gives me an even better chance of getting to Wednesday night.
You can't do worse than 4th.
This is true. I mean, there's 15 of us, so it's
all right. Oh wait, there he is.
Oh,
last second.
You go and win now. Talk about getting in by the skin of your teeth. You just got in by the hairs of it. No, I'm not even going now. But anyway,
it looks like he's also going to be doing a wrong livery. Yeah, I hope that he.
Oh, he's disappeared.
He's left.
Is that because he had the wrong livery? We give him a few seconds just in case. I'm assuming he's still online, is he?
I'm hoping so.
Oh, I think it's only fair if he joined and jumped out like that. Did he have the wrong livery? What's he supposed to be? Yeah, he's supposed to be in the sister car to me, isn't he?
Yeah.
The 83,
so
which is...
In the last race, I saw that, was it Helmer? Helmer was in the wrong car as well. He was using Kenny and Matt's liveries.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So we've given guys heads up. Guys know where to find their numbers and what they've registered with.
Yeah, and it's all on there. It's all on the sheets. Yeah. I've got them in front of me, so if I can do it, trust me, so can everybody else. It can't be that difficult. You need the IQ of
I don't know where he is now. It says he left. He didn't disconnect, so maybe he's had enough. He won the race. He got into the lobby before we started.
Yeah. Oh well. Not much we can do. He's typing something. Hang on a minute. He is typing something. I don't know where he's typing it though. That's the question. Sorry, I thought it was supercars. My brother isn't home. I'm not going to race for him.
Okay. So
well, at least that's honest. At least that's honest. That's fair enough.
I don't think we have his brother on our friends list, so that could also be a problem if his brother's waiting. Yeah,
we're going to have to sort that. That's going to have to get sorted out, isn't it? Oh, it's typing again. I don't know what it's... Because obviously I can see Discord here, because I've got various windows open. Which comes in... No, it comes in handy to have that.
I can imagine. I wish I had some more windows here. I just have pieces of paper. I'm old school. I'm reading people's names off of a handwritten piece of paper here.
You're younger using old school. I'm older using new school. We'll work that one out later. Oh, he was typing, but he's not typing now. Oh, whatever. Not much we can do. Okay. We can only do what we can do. So,
so as you can see, this is Gavin in the pink car. This is his first race of Rallycross. So.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not the only.
Nice to see some new guys getting involved.
I'm not going to be the. Hey, Sean said he's going to be a Motormouth fan for this championship. Good. I need everything. I need every bit of help. Right. Let's say I'm ready. I'm not, but let's say I am.
Good luck.
I forgot to see what fuel I've got. Never mind. This could be a good start. Anyway, you've all got my view.
as long as you've got 4 liters.
I've got 9. Oh,
okay.
There we go. That was a really poor start. And I've got my own camera view. And it's really weird trying to drive a car with no noise. Because of course I've got no noise, have I? I'm not even... I'm off the track there, aren't I? What a nerdle. Yeah, it's really weird with no sound. That's very, very odd. It's like driving an electric car.
Yeah, this is you preparing for the future.
Yeah, I'd rather go full pollution personally, but hey ho, I'm probably not on the climate change person's list, but hey. Well, as you can see, I'm last.
So obviously everyone's checking from your view, but this is what's happening in the front. Steven is currently winning. Danielson, which is Eric in second. Steven just took the Joker lap, so there's some information.
Yay, there it is.
Gavin also in the Joker.
I thought I'll do it as well. Oh, sugar in a bowl.
3 in the Joker.
I just crashed.
Saw that. Collected on that wall.
Yeah, how dare they put a wall right next to the jump, just so I wasn't ready for it. Never mind. That was oh dear. That was another bit of ball.
This track is a lot tougher than it looks. It seems simple, but it's not.
Yeah, the only thing that feels simple at the moment is me. But it's interesting. It's interesting to drive a car that makes no noise and that can hit everything in sight. I'm going to get a bill for ruining this place, aren't I? I need to not be in third gear so much as well. That doesn't help.
Yeah, that probably shift every now and again.
Yeah, that probably helps.
Probably would be easier if you had sound.
I know, it is really, really weird actually. It's a really odd phenomenon to not have sound. Could have done with a handbrake as well, but hey ho. Don't suppose it's out.
In these cars, luckily you don't need much handbrake, especially on this track. This track is, I wasn't really using any handbrake myself. The handbrake will probably slow you down a bit.
Yeah, my back end didn't really like that. I think setups are going to help.
Just wanted to see if there was anyone behind you.
I did, and the only way I could do was having a look around. Do a full 360, mind you. I'll do well to match Berry's 720 in the first
Eric wins. Got Steven right behind, a good battle there, and Gavin doing well on his first go.
And can I get to the end before he counts out?
You should be able to make it.
Oh, it says finish. I don't even know where the finishing line is. It's there somewhere.
Around this corner.
Yeah, I'm round the bend. Yeah, I knew that anyway. Oh, I'm not going to quite make it. Oh, I did. Yeah.
There we go.
Look at the state of that car.
First race.
Oh, look at our lap time. Dear me.
It was good.
That was awesome. Oh no, was it awful? I'm not sure, I can't remember. And the worst thing is I get to do another one straight away. I get to do the next one too. Yay. Glutton for punishment or what?
Don't go anywhere.
No, it's just I'll probably get arrested if I did. That's just awful.
No, do what you did, but try to do it a little faster. That's the only difference.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Oh dear, that was funny.
Right, don't move.
That was funny.
But you're going to have a go now against Gavin again, so...
Brushing.
You've heard that other voice, it wasn't me, it was my wife. Making an impromptu jump into the commentary. Not for long though, because she's now just left the room.
I thought she was cheering for you.
Yeah,
I thought she was cheering for you.
Yeah, no, she just brought me a cup of coffee. Isn't that nice? This is what married life's all about. It's slush.
So now it's going to be like a boost. You're going to go much faster with that coffee now.
Oh, definitely. Actually, it'll probably keep me awake. There is always hope. Not much, I must admit. In fact, very little, but everything is possible in life.
Hey, you're lucky. I'm racing this one too, eh?
Yay! Which means we can get to see just how much better than me you really are. Which means...
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a close race at the back between us.
I really need some major help. It'll be really good if Helmer stays on the starting grid again, That'll be good.
Hopefully he's sorted it out by now.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, he'll have got himself into gear. So I probably won't finish fourth this time because there's 5 of us. But you never know. Weirder things have happened. We can have a go. So this is Motormouth Fest Mark II, as I'm going to call it, for want of better words. But this could be good fun. This could be good. I do say
we're just waiting on our director, and then we can go.
Of course, because he needs to know what direction he's going in as a director.
Yeah.
Which, after watching the last race, you probably wonder, you know, if I know which direction I'm going in.
Oh, we've got a
backwards.
person sticking around there. Eric needed to get out.
Ah, yes, he just loved it so much he decided he wanted to stay.
Oh, he didn't want to leave.
Well, it is that good. Sean says, now you've got more experience and you'll win now. I think there is... what time is it? No, I can't say what I want to say. Let's just say...
The children's still awake.
Yeah, let's just say...
Keep it PG.
Let's just say I doubt it very much. I think there's more chance of all the global warming scientists saying that we're going to have an ice age.
Alright, we can start now.
Yay! Let's get ready to rumble. So, on the cameras for this race is the very ripe Mr. Berries.
But you will still be seeing it from your
Yay!
view.
You still get to look at my bonnet. So basically, you just get to see everybody else in front. You never know, weirder things might happen.
Or if you're winning, they get to see nothing.
This is true. So it's better if I'm last, isn't it? They get to see more. See, I'm doing this for you guys. It's not that I'm crap. I'm just doing it for you. I'm willing to sacrifice my own chances of getting into the finals just for you. Yeah, right.
Okay, on this, I recommend about 4 liters fuel. Change it from 9, because 9's going to slow you down.
Yeah, and I don't need any help with that, do I? I mean, I'm pretty good at being slow anyway. Oh, we've got dry tyres on, so at least I got the right tyres. That's possibly something I need to change as well. Steering ratio. That was a little bit dubious. So I think we'll change that. Oh yeah, 19 laps worth of fuel I had. That's probably a bit too many.
You can do Le Mans on that.
I'm going to close my radiator. Everything that can possibly give me some extra pace.
Don't close it too much or you'll blow your engine.
Blow it up. Oh well, I had it open 30% last time. I'm going to go for 20 this time and see what happens. And I'm going to change my engine braking to see if it will help me. If it doesn't, never mind. It's a learning curve. Anyway, I'm ready.
Alright, good luck.
Rock and roll. Oh, I'm at the back of the grid, so at least I'm starting in the same position that I'm going to finish in. That's confidence for you. Oh, at least I got off this time. Still last, but I got off. Oh my god. This is quite hairy when you're looking from this point of view. It's quite interesting.
What view are you using?
I'm looking at my bonnet cam. This is quite interesting. It is quite good. They're all trying to do a Joker, so I'm just going to try and carry on. See if it does anything.
Whichever way gives you the cleanest air, it's the best way to go.
Yeah, there were 2 bang in front of me, so I thought, oh, let's maintain that traction. I'm going to tow up to that piece of wall again. I did. Oh, there's somebody just outside me. I think it was Hazard.
You must have some interesting things to say.
It is. It was dirty, I could tell. Oh, I can't do Joker. You sugar. I've done that again. I've done my favourite thing, which is go off the part that isn't really track. I was going to do Joker, but there's somebody on there, so I better not. I probably could have got away with it. Anyway, I'm now into my customary position. But at least I've only crashed once, so far. But if I was a betting man, I've got a funny feeling that I might come fifth. Sugar. I think my steering is a bit twitchy for this game as well, but this is modified from dirt
my
rally.
steering is feeling a little off from you. It's not how I remember.
Yeah, it feels a bit twitchy. I did change it last night because I did something with Dirt Rally yesterday for the first time in a long time. I changed a lot of settings. It was good fun actually. I've not done a proper rally stage for quite some time. Even after I'd finished playing that game, I still haven't done a proper rally stage for quite some time. It was a good effort. It was good fun. Hey, there you go. That's okay. If it's getting slightly better with each race, just the turning point for there is terrible. I'm awful at my turning point now because I keep saying hello to that. I think it will help when I get some sound. It's a pity because I don't even get sound coming into my headphones, which is kind of weird.
See, that's what I've done. Is I've got the sound coming through the headphones.
Yeah, it's not coming through the game sound, isn't it? But again, maybe because I'm commentating, then maybe that's probably why that doesn't come through. Because if it did, it might well come out into the stream. So that's quite possible. That's alright. I can live with that. Probably won't make me any better anyway. I'll still be rubbish. I just know that I'm 1 second ahead.
Somehow I managed to win there. Not sure how.
A win and the 37.6. Well, at least my time was better this time. It was 41.1. It was still poo, but it was better. It was a better poo, if that's quite possible. But hey, a nice win.
A polished one.
Yes. They say you can't polish a turd, but hey, we had a go. So anyway,
so
that's my effort over.
Now we get to take our rightful places in the commenting seats.
Yeah, I think that's where I probably could do slightly better. I think.
Watch how the pros do it.
Yay! Yeah, I like watching pros. I've always been a voyeur. Yes. That's terrible, I know. My jokes will only get worse. Yay!
Alright, so now we're on race 2 of qualifying 2.
Yeah, so we got Mr. Care Bear, we got Jacques Racing, we got Sean, we got Eric, and we got Stephen. Is Eric Banana Man? The only reason why I asked that is Banana Man, which was a cartoon back in the day when I was a kid. His name is Eric. I'm just wondering.
No, Eric is Danielson. He's changed his PSN name recently when they allowed the PSNs to change.
Just to be confusing.
Yeah.
I know, I can't be bothered changing mine. It's just, there's nothing more apt. The good thing is, at least I got a voice tonight. You can probably tell it's struggling, but on Friday, I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak on Friday. No. I had no voice.
Yeah, so that would have been interesting for commentating.
Yeah, but I was talking like this.
Sign language doesn't work on a broadcast.
And Braille's not going to work either. Yeah. It was terrible. Oh, it really was. It is. But it's kind of held out over the past couple of days. It's not done too bad. But my wife wasn't very well for a while, so you're bound to catch it if you're in the same house. But I've got a good immune system. I tend to stave off the most parts of any illness. I just get the edge of it, and then I manage to get rid of it. So hopefully this is all I get this time. But we shall see. So we've got everybody in. Everyone's in position. So Danielson.
Just making sure we got the right ones, because that can sometimes be.
Are they all in there? So Care Bear, Sean, Jack. Yeah, happy days. Ready to rock and roll for Heat 2 of Round 3. That's what I say.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see what these guys can do.
This could be quite close. This could be quite tight.
I think it will be. I think Jacques usually is very fast. So
in fairness
he's got a lot to live up to.
In fairness to Mr. Slaney, he's done pretty well, hasn't he?
Quick, and I know Eric did well in some of the races he did last season. So
he's got a bit of a rep to live up to then.
Yeah, I think the three of them have definitely got some stuff to live up to. The other guys, if they win, which they can,
it's possible, isn't it? Anything is possible in this. So obviously in the next heat we're only going to have 4 people. So we've got 14 people in qualifying. I guarantee I won't get in the top 12. Never mind. It's the taking part that counts. That's lies. It's the winning that matters. In the meantime, we're on the start grid, so we got Jacques Racing and Care Bear on the front row, so to speak. This will be an interesting start from these two, because I think Care Bear's probably got the slight advantage coming in from that wide stance. He got a good start there. It wasn't a jump, but he got a really good rapid start.
That was a man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He got a good start, Mr. Care Bear, didn't he?
Some contact in the back there. Eric gets left in the wall.
Yeah, didn't get to see that properly there. Oh, that's...
I think he was... his bumper was weighing him down. He just had to strip some weight.
Yeah, he's just gone for a bit of weight reduction.
Like two teammates going to the Joker together here. We've got Sean and Jacques in the Joker.
Let's see. So we've got Jacques Racing leading at the moment. Obviously...
sorry, it's Matt leading.
Matt leading.
But Jacques is taking his Joker.
Yeah, I was thinking he might be the de facto leader, but it could be tight though, because again, like Magnus said, it can only be...
because this Joker isn't much.
No, because it's only, like Magnus said, it's only like somewhere between a second to a second and a half.
The part that really slows you down here is if you get stuck behind a car that takes the Joker, if he goes too wide on that corner. Like my first race that I did, I was behind someone and that happened, and I had to hit the brakes so I didn't take them out. And he actually got out of the Joker before I cut around.
Yeah, so you've basically got the run on you then.
Yeah.
I think what I've got to learn with these cars is probably to throw them into the corners a bit more. I probably had the car too stable, whereas really you want it loose.
Yeah, that would have been a problem. You can be quite aggressive with them, but you mustn't drift it. The less drifting you can do, the faster they actually go.
That was a bit dodgy then, but he was trying his proverbial parts off to get around then, but he didn't quite get that's tight.
Just squeezes through.
He might get squeezed out. He might get squeezed out. Yeah. Oh,
and now Sean on the inside.
Look at this.
Might get past.
Look at this for a fight between these three. I mean, these three are out on their own. Because Jacques went a bit wide on that, but he lost a bit of ground there by going wide. But he's got it back though. He's got the pace. He's got the straight line pace. He's definitely got that.
He went wide, but he kept his speed. That's
What the heck?
Might be some love lost there between teammates.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a second look at that. It didn't look to be an awful lot in it. I just saw a replay of it.
It was a small tap, but it's a
it's enough.
Tough corner. There's a little bump there on that corner that if you're going fast, it catches you sometimes. And it brings you into the right wall when you're supposed to turn left.
Yeah, and there wasn't, like I say, there wasn't much in that, unfortunately. It's one of those things, but again, a really good race. So Care Bear takes the win. It's 36-9.
That's probably the closest between a big group of people that I've seen tonight.
Yeah, that was a good battle in truth. Steve gets to take a third place due to Jacques unfortunately tete-a-tete with his teammate there, which, hey, nobody's going to do that on purpose, are they? Nobody's going to try and do anything like that, but hey, it's one of those things. It happens. Never mind.
Close racing.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was like I say, by nature of the very type of racing, it's the fact that we don't have an absolute maelstrom of issues, shall we say, for want of better words, is testament to the guys. I know I said that earlier, but it is, in all fairness to them, because it's so easy. It could be so easy to have an absolute wreckfest session, which I think would be quite easy.
Everyone is pretty respectable, and a lot of these guys do practice a lot. And so.
Yeah, Sean just said, "Man, I'm crashing into everybody again like last season." Hey, but the fact is, people know you didn't mean it. It's one of those things that can happen. So as we got here in this one, then we got Matt Morris in this one, not Mr. Bear.
Yeah, the other Matt, we're trading one for the other.
Yeah, so. Oh, that's all right. I was going to say he was hanging around, but you just booted him out, didn't you?
Yeah.
If at first
You just got to use the boot.
Yeah. If you don't get out in time, it's like kicking out time in your local pub. If you're not out in time, then sorry, got to send in the boys. So, who have we got in this one? We got Matt Morris. We got somebody called Ryan. Who's he? I don't know.
That's Barry's.
I know. That's why I'm taking a mickey.
Nobody knows his real name.
No. So we don't know who Ryan is, but we know who Barry's is. So there we go. And we've also got Kenny Shep. We've not got Matt Zuzzi because he's not racing for his brother, who's really himself. Yeah, that's one for the medical guys.
Barry's first name is Ryan, and it's not Dingle as many think it is.
Yes, or yes, Dingleberries. His sister's called Straw and Rasp, and his other brother's called Blue. Terrible, really.
Okay,
People
so we should have
names.
4 drivers. Yeah, who are we missing? Oh, we're missing the other Matt.
No, we've only got one Matt. We got Ratek, haven't we? Ratek's in, Berries is in, Kenny Shep's in. Yeah, that's right. We should only. Who's 4th? Matt Morris. Where's Matt Morris gone? He wasn't.
Morris.
I thought he was in here, but then he just. I thought he was in here before. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe you vanished.
Where is Mr. Morris?
Act.
Earth.
There he is.
There you go.
The crowd goes wild.
Back again.
2 teammates in this.
Yes, the crowd goes wild, mainly because it is wild. Yes, we gained our crowd from the local zoo.
Race.
Yeah, a fantastic 4.
Once again, 3 British drivers.
Yay, let's fly the flag. Then
We
again,
have a strong British representation here in our series at the moment. Lots of British guys.
this is true. Some of them are good, and some of them, well, yeah. Some of them just aren't.
Some of them are good, but some of them are like good. Like
Yeah, yeah. Or you could be like me, and I'm just not using my full talent, because if I use my full talent, I will embarrass everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So of course I don't want to do that.
Then you'd have to drive in reverse so that people could see what's going on behind you.
Exactly. We can't do that. It's just not possible. In the meantime, so we have the famous 4, all ready and bouncing and raring to go. Who's gonna win this one? That's easier said than done. Who knows who's going to take
it's
it?
difficult to predict here what happens on the starts, because I've seen some guys get some very quick ones from the second row there, where we've got Matt.
You get some of the guys dipping the clutch. You get some of the guys dipping the clutch and doing that launch control.
Yeah. I think some of the guys try to time it, but it can be quite tricky when you do that, because you just go
That's what I tried to do.
Disqualified.
That's what I tried to do. The first race I just didn't. The second race I kind of tried to, but not the same.
I had a good launch. I was on the second row for the second race I did, and I actually launched to the front on the first point.
Not bad. So we've got 2 races going on here at the moment, or it looks it. Pretty much. So we've got Matt Morris leading from Berries. Yeah, that's a good little battle between, I think, and Kenny Shep. In fairness, I thought this might have been the closest race of these heats. There's not much separating them on paper, but on gravel and tarmac and stuff, there's...
There is similar line there, you can see.
Yeah, they're all running. Right, first joker's been taken.
So Berries and Ratic on the normal lap, and we've got Matt and Kenny on the joker.
So he's out. So he gets out of that. So he's got the lead on Berries. Again, not as much of an advantage, so if any at all, in trade. It's hard. It's negligible, isn't it? As to the advantage of not Joker or Joker.
The Joker here is not going to slow you down that much.
Yeah, doesn't
unless you go in very slowly on the entrance, because it's a very tight entry here. You have to.
Look, Berries has just gone in, I think, didn't he? Yeah, Berries has just gone in.
Berries followed by Ratic.
I think he just caught the side there, which might have slowed him down a tad. Probably lost him a little bit of ground, but I think he just scraped the side ever so slightly then coming into that. Yeah, he did. I just saw it. I just saw the replay. I got to see that. which, okay, it's not going to cause him any damage, but it's going to slow you down. It goes without saying. So it's a nice set.
So let's see what's happening here at the front. So we've got Matt Morris winning.
Barry's trying to chase him down.
Quite comfortable there.
Yeah, he's got 0.8 of a second of a lead, so I think barring disasters, he's going to take it.
Big mess here.
Yeah, he's got the right line to come out, because you can just see where the torque kicks in just as they're coming out from there, with the way that they're running the lines in. And again, that's probably food for thought for somebody like me, just to see where and when they're getting that in. So that's a good race.
That was pretty close, actually. Yeah. They finished very close together.
Wasn't an awful lot in it, was there? There you go, 3.5 seconds between the four.
Very similar lap times. Check the best laps there.
Yeah, 7.2, 7.7, 7.3, 7.2. Believe it or not, the man that came last had the fastest lap. Believe
just
it or
shows
not.
you.
Yeah, it's just how all the race go. If you can have one rapid lap and 3 not very good ones, which means you don't win. But a nice win for Matt.
Also when you're fighting guys, it slows you down a little.
Yeah, true, because you've got their air as well that you're running into, which is not going to be as pleasant as it would be if it was nice and clear, I think is how they would say that. So that,
alright, so now we're on to the big boys.
Yeah. You're saying I'm not a big boy? My wife will come in and tell you that no, she needs a microscope and a pair of tweezers. But no, oh, sorry, we weren't talking about that, were we? We were on about something else. So anyway, as we have at the moment, we've got we dispense with the 300 brake horsepower boys, and we bring in the 560s. We bring in the proper beasties. 600
horsepower.
Well, some of them, it says when I've looked at it, it says some are 560, some are 580. But I've always believed that they were 600s. But in this game,
I think it's probably like a bike. They probably just round it up.
Yeah, true, yeah. It's easier that way, isn't it? And it sounds better, doesn't it? I mean, who wants to ride a Honda CBR 883? It's better off riding a 900, isn't it? Let's face it, and it does sound much better. It literally sounds much better. So, we are, as far as we are concerned with the supercars now, we are into race 2 of the season, which had quite an interesting finale, in all fairness. One that you wouldn't have expected. Well, certainly wouldn't have been expected after qualifying had finished, let's put it that way. It just proves the fact that somebody...
We've got Martin, who won the qualifying of the last race in Spain. He's in this race now.
Yeah, he got a very unfortunate... it was in the semi? Yeah, it was in the semi, wasn't it? Where he got... what was it?
He jump-started.
Yeah, and which basically killed him, and we eventually had our winner, who originally hadn't even qualified. Yeah, hadn't even... Exactly. I mean, he would normally. I would have expected him to normally qualify because he's good enough. But he didn't have the best of times and didn't get in the top 12. But as luck would have it, one or two bits of life got in the way of certain people taking part. So therefore, he got a reprieve and took his chances. Can't fault that. So we got four guys in this one. So of course we got Harvard on speed. Mr. Magnus, Mr. Bocco Bomb, and we have Stephen, who's jumped straight out of a 300 horsepower car into a 600 horsepower car, and obviously will seamlessly show us that it's not a problem.
And this is the first time we'll see him in the Renault this season. He missed last week's race with some internet troubles.
Oh yeah, of course, yes, he did, didn't he? I'm hoping that our so-called thunderstorms that are supposed to be kicking in tonight do not happen. Certainly not until after we've finished.
Yeah, but just tell them to hold off until the rallycross is over, and then it can hammer.
Yeah, it's just go and stand outside and go, Clouds, Mr. Clouds, please go away, do not bother me, come back another day. Yeah, I just made that up. That's why it was rubbish.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting... what do we say?
Still for Martin. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, where's he gone?
This is his home circuit as well. He's French.
Yay! So
now he's showing offline. He was online when I invited him, but he's now off.
I think in the meantime, I think we got the top 3 qualifiers. Yeah, that's all right. I've got the top 3 qualifiers, obviously, from the RF2, which is ably being brought to me. Thank you very much. I much appreciate that. In first place, not surprisingly, was Mr. Care Bear, Mr. Matt, who was doing very, very well. Just not far behind him, of course, was Sean in second place there. And in third place was Matt Morris. So they are the top
Martin
3.
Won't be joining us. He's
okay.
Says it's too late or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Okay.
So that's a benefit to the top 3. So obviously, Care Bear, Very Anessa, which is Sean, and Matt Morris. They're the top 3 from RF2. Who came last? I don't know. Somebody not a million miles away from here. Yeah, I think it might have been one of us two, and it wasn't you. So that might narrow it down a bit. But then again, if a couple of people drop out for the final on Wednesday, I could find myself in, and I could take it by storm.
Yeah, you could. You never know what's going to happen. I think there were some people actually that said they can't make the Wednesday. So.
Yeah, I might even get in by default. Yeah. Get some practice in tomorrow, just to see if I can just shake things up a bit. So we got a 3-man start. So we got Harvard on speed and Magnus on the first row. So
this could work well for these guys. They could put in some very fast times with some space here.
Yeah, well, they should have, like with the 3 of them, if they all get off pretty well, then they should do really good. Sean just said, I would have thought this Motormouth guy would have been top. Yeah, right. That's a cracking start from Harvard on speed. He got an absolute flyer away from there. He did get a flyer. Yeah. Just seen a note just while this race is going on. I've just seen a note from Mr. Norlander saying he's on his way home now, so he thinks he might miss a qualifying or 2, but hey, just try to be as quick as you can.
He mentioned to me he was going to be late, but I think he's later in the... Yeah, he's on the last race, so he
might get lucky. He might get lucky. In the meantime, like I say, Harvard on speed
has managed to squeeze through.
Yeah, Harvard on speed got a cracking start, but Magnus has managed to pull it back and obviously make up some ground. He's got himself off. Oh, he takes out.
I think that's showing off there.
Yeah, he's definitely taking that out. He's on a good line here and he's doing pretty well. He's not getting away though, it's staying around. Man, he just did a little bit there, but I think it's relative to where you are on track. But I think Harvard just lost out now coming around that corner. He lost a bit of traction and lost about 3/10. Obviously Steve's already done his joker, but he's barring a disaster. He's too far behind.
Sideways. Look at that.
Yeah, he does like the shopping trolley mentality, does which is what I call it. He does like that. Oh, I thought he was going to go joker then, but he didn't. It would have made sense surely for him to have gone joker and not had Magnus's there, but maybe he just thought, okay.
It depends how Steven's doing, because if he catches him, he'll slow him down.
Yeah, he's got 7 seconds. He had plenty enough space behind there to have maybe took that. But maybe he wanted to keep the pressure on Magnus if he could, but I think he's lost out because of it, personally. I think he might have done better trying to take the joker that time out.
Very sideways from Magnus here, he's taking his joker.
They've both got the line pretty well. Going out wide right, that's where I came across it. But he got that well actually, that worked out really well for him. And he's got a good line coming out which gets the traction in. Oh, that could have been naughty. I didn't know whether his back end was going to catch that, but I don't think he did.
I think in rallycross they say you only need one wheel on the track.
Yeah, it's possibly it's going to be different to what I would call circuit racing, and just by nature of the type of racing it is, you've got to allow for a bit more.
Yeah, this was a very good show from all of them.
So, end of that one, and lap times are going to be a fair bit faster than the RF2s. Well, not hugely.
Only by a little.
Yeah, not as much as I thought, actually. I thought we might have been in the 34s for these, but then again, I suppose there's not that many straights, are there?
Maybe we'll see something at the end. Who knows how fast the guys will get.
Yeah, but 35.7, I think that's only about, at the most, a second ahead of what Matt Care Bear's best time was, if I'm honest.
Alright, I think you're going to see me embarrass myself in this one.
Yay! Anything you can do, I can do worse. I'm sure those weren't the same words.
Accepted.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what do we got in this? We got Artem, who I think thought he was too late, because I saw him put something up on Discord earlier on, but obviously he's not too late. He's in plenty of time this time. But what he probably won't do, he probably won't join this race and try and join in a race that he's not part of.
Yeah, I think we've sorted all that out now, so we'll see. I think everybody is
au fait with where they're supposed to be and when. So we got...
it is quite complicated compared to other series, so...
Yeah, it just by nature of how many people that you need to be moving around and shipping about, it is fast and furious in that respect, but as long as people know where they're supposed to be. We have Artem. And what livery is he in this evening? Yeah, that's a little bit less garish than last week's, I must admit.
He's in that pink Ford again.
Famous last words now, wasn't it? I mean, it's like magenta, that colour, isn't it? It's rather than straightforward pink. But it's...
I still think that livery is to confuse people. So when you get hit by the one colour and you're looking for it on the track, you can't.
Yeah, if you're on the other side, oh no, that's a blue car. Where's the pink one gone? So what we got here? We got
just waiting on the cameraman, and who else?
We got John. We got yourself, Comaneci.
Yeah, just waiting on Comaneci and your cameraman.
Which I'm assuming Comaneci will be in. I'm assuming that Berries or... There's Berries.
And there's Comaneci. So we've got a few Renaults here.
Yeah, just one or two. They're quite well represented in this one.
Three Renaults. Comaneci is in the Renault. There you go.
1, 2, 3. Yes, we have. How well represented. Let's hope they're better at this than they are at Formula 1. Enough said.
Alright.
So.
I'm going to try focus for this one. I'll check you after.
Have fun. You go focus. So, Heat 2. Heat 2 of round number 1 of the supercars. So you had your aperitif with the RF2s. And I tried to do my best to show you as many walls and berms and things like that on the course that I could possibly get to. But, yes, trying to drive with a stable car in a rallycross is probably not good. I probably need to have something very loose. But we shall learn. That's what it's all about. It's a learning curve. So, in the meantime, we have the beautiful blue, pink, yellow of Artem there, who we are now currently seeing. Also on the front row with him is Kyle in his lovely K9 Renault. Don't they look like they've got eyes, don't they, the Renaults? Do they look like eyes? I think they do. I think they're deliberately done. Kyle's car definitely looks like it's got eyes and it's looking at me in a really weird way. It's probably had some drugs. In the meantime though, we're ready to rock and roll, I think. This could be an interesting race. In fact, all these races are interesting by nature of what they are. So, we are ready to rock and roll for this one. Let's see if anyone gets a flyer. Thankfully, we've had no false starts yet tonight, so hopefully I haven't given the kiss of death there. Oh, he's trying to push in there in between the two. I don't think there was a gap there between Artem, but there's been a fair bit of paint swapping there. However, everyone has managed to stay intact, but it's a bit... I think Kyle's got a bit of a buffeting now. There's a few people got some buffeting. Somebody's front bumper's gone for a long jump or a hop, skip and a jump. I'm not sure. But Johnny probably did the right thing and got out the way and did a joker lap. But there's a fair bit of touching up in this race. In fact, there's that much touching up. It probably constitutes sexual assault. But we won't go into that, will we? So, in the meantime, we've got. I can't see where everybody is because I haven't got anything on my left-hand side to see where anyone is, of course. So I can't tell who's where, but that's okay. So we're seeing Comaneci at the moment, who is currently in. I think he's in second. Is he in second place? No, he's not. Where is he? I can't really tell because he doesn't tell me. I know we've got Matt Morris in first. He's here in front of Artem, who is in second. Oh, we got it all back. I don't know where it went, but it disappeared. But it made it interesting, though, didn't it? That's kind of cool. So now we've got Matt leading. We've got Comaneci in second place, and Matt's just going to do his joker now. I wonder if Comaneci's going to do the same thing. No, he's not. So Artem's into second place now. Comaneci is running in first. Janaskini. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong, but hey. But Comaneci's still in the lead, obviously yet to do his joker, but with joker only being about 1.5 seconds or something like that, then chances are he might miss. Yeah, I know. I did kind of see a little bit of it. Just to explain that, Sean's just saying you missed a massive crash between them. I think I saw the back end of it. I think I saw it was all very, very close coming into turn one, and I think there was somebody trying to get through the middle of Artem and somebody else, and I don't really think there was a space there to come through. But you can't blame somebody for trying to make one within reason. So again, pretty tight race, pretty close race for the most part. But Comaneci takes the win. Artem takes a creditable second place. Matt Morris, who for a fair bit of it looked like he was going to have a good race there, didn't quite pan out for him in third. Kyle coming in fourth there, and Janaskini coming in fifth place, where at one point he was looking quite good for him. Again, looking at the lap times, 36.7, 37.2, 38, 38.5, 36.4. So again, the fastest lap time has actually come from the guy who was last in the actual race. So it's got to all be, yeah. But yeah, that was okay. It made it interesting.
That was intense.
That made that interesting. All the information disappeared off the screen, so I didn't have a clue what was going on. But it was quite funny. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, it was a big lot of bumping there. I was leading for like a lap. And
yeah,
that was buffeted everywhere.
I said there was that much. I
lost it on the one turn.
I said that there was that much touching up. It constituted sexual assault.
Yeah, I thought, where do I lay a claim?
Yeah, it was very touchy-feely, that race, very much so. It was in the main, it was, nobody really did anything bad.
No, it was interesting.
But it was just very, very tight, because I think somebody was trying to go through a gap between Artem and somebody else. It might have been between Artem and you, I'm not sure. And somebody was trying to go through a gap that wasn't really there, but it kind of worked out in the end. So it was quite interesting. It's probably the closest race in terms of proximity, where you've had all the cars kind of pretty much together in the early parts of the race. So that made it quite.
I think when I lost it, I might have damaged Johnny's car or whatever. I was like staring into his eyes for a while. I was facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I think that's the bit that we missed, because everything just kind of disappeared a little bit. But hey ho,
these things happen because there was so much contact. It was just shook the camera out of focus.
It just basically crashed the server. He was so excited it just crashed it. In the meantime, into heat 3 of round number 1. So we now have Shawnee's back in for this one, and we've got Helmer, and we've got Mr. Berries, Mr. Ratek, and Mr. Shep. It's like awesome. Whenever I see Shep, I always think of John Noakes on Blue Peter, which was a TV programme for kids over here. I don't know if you ever had it over there, but all he used to ever say was he had an Alsatian dog called Shep, and it was always sort of fussing him, and he always said, "Get down, Shep." It did become like a cult thing. He actually made a record where all three was going, "Get down, Shep." I know. Don't even ask. It was rubbish. But like all rubbish records, it probably did really well. I mean, only in the UK charts can Mr. Blobby get to #1. That's all I can say. There's nothing else to say after that.
Maybe just with his name, nobody even knew who he was. It was just...
Yeah, he was on a TV program that was here, and he was about 7 foot tall. He was a big fat pink thing with yellow spots. Google it. Honestly, you will laugh. Not because it's funny, it's just that stupid. Anyway, going from stupid to something not stupid is Heat 3 of round #1. So we're looking at Helmer Harverson, who's on the front row with Ratek there, and Kenny Shep and, excuse me, Mr. Sean are on row 2, and bringing up the rear is Mr. Berries. I don't know whether that's his usual place, but I'm sure he won't want to stay there.
Sure.
Does that look tight? I couldn't quite see, because it goes off the angle of the game. The trackside didn't quite cover the whole piece, but again, these two have got away. Oh, so Sean is going to
taking the Joker.
I think somebody else was doing it as well. I couldn't quite see, but I saw somebody else in behind them.
3 cars, it's Berries and Kenny.
Ah, right, they've all gone and done it. Well, I suppose, yeah, it gets out of the way, if you want to look at it in that respect. The 3 of them are close, aren't they? I think Berries was probably hoping that these two are going to have a good run in on here. Berries.
Looked like they were going to save it, but the addition of the third car just shook it up.
I think the fact that I think it was Helmer that was in between. Was it Helmer in between?
Yeah, it was Berries and Helmer made a bit of contact, but they were pulling it back, and I think just the addition of Kenny coming into the mix just threw it. But it wasn't his fault.
No. I mean, Kenny basically ended up being the unfortunate collateral of that. Yeah, he was very much so. But Ratek's taking his chance up, and he's carrying out.
There hasn't really been any fights yet.
Yeah, no, he managed to stay out of that. He did quite well. Is he going to do the Joker? He's probably lost a bit by
his Joker now.
He managed to save that turn quite well.
Let's see if he gets out ahead of Sean here.
No, he's not going to, is he? Or is he? It's closest.
Just
no. Sean,
he's going to get it.
You get the? Oh no, I thought
went too wide. He should have braked it on the inside.
Yeah, because he could have got the second part of that. Then he would have been in front now going into here. But
that's still close.
It's still pretty tight with anything can happen. Yes, it's the last lap, but I think Sean's going to take this one bar in any disasters.
Sean's got eyes there. You can see his demon eyes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was looking at before. I think it's funny. I was saying with that, and with the Renaults as well. I think it might have been your Renault actually in the last race.
Mine's got eyes.
Yes, which are quite cool. Helps to set it off anyway. There it is.
My teammate, there's his eyes.
He's looking at his giving the evil eye. So
this car looks like it's talking, its bumpers moving.
It's just popping up and down going, ooh, like a goldfish. Oh, is Helmer going to get across the line? I think he just about got there then.
He did, I think.
I think he just made it. So Shawnee gets the win. That's a 36.5. I think that's the fastest tonight, off the top of my head. Ratek then with a 36.7 in second. Berry's 36.3. Sorry, I stand corrected. But again, I think that was it. Third lap, really. Second lap, third lap was the one that kind of did for those three. Really, none of them came out of it well. I mean, Kenny came out the worst, obviously, but nobody came out of it well.
I think what happened was Berries was probably a bit faster than the guy ahead of him, and then he just tried to push a little too hard.
Yeah, and I think having the three of them there, it just didn't go, did it?
Rallycross.
Yeah, 3 doesn't go, does it? 3 abreast ain't gonna work.
It's a tough situation.
definitely not. And there had to be some collateral over that. But I think
It's like when everyone tries to walk through the door at the same time.
yeah, you're just gonna. The fattest guy's gonna get through first because he's heavier. He squash everyone else out of the way, and then he gets stuck in the door.
So
Nobody else can get through.
See if Robin has made it.
This is true. Is he home? It's not ET phone home. It's Robin. Robin phone home. Didn't quite have the same thing, and I'm probably not directed by Steven Spielberg, and absolutely certainly not showing in the cinema anywhere near you at Christmas, which I think ET did in about 19 whenever it was, a long time ago anyway, in the galaxy far far away. Sorry, wrong film. Yeah, Magnus says fastest lap was by me 35.7, but somebody did 35.4 in that last race, I'm sure. I thought somebody did 35.4 in that last race. You can check though.
I didn't catch it, to be honest.
But otherwise you can take the plaudits there, Mr. Magnus.
The thing here is I made up some custom lists here to invite the people quicker, but it seems that not all the people I put on it are here.
Oh. Tis
Yeah,
odd.
I put Robin on there, but he's not on the list.
He flew away.
Yeah.
When the red Robin comes, but no, sorry, that's another song, isn't it?
Yes, shoes there.
Yeah.
But he is online, so he should
that's okay,
join
then.
us.
So we got Mr. Hazard and Mr. Jacques Racing, Mr. Robin, and this time are we going to have Matsuchi, who's actually racing for himself
He
this time?
should be joining, because this is himself that he's racing for.
Himself, not his brother, who's not him.
Yeah.
Is that confusing?
It's very confusing. It is. Because they used to have the similar PSN names as well, I think. And then
yeah, I think they need to go for like something totally different, or... Yay, here we go. So we got 4 out of 5.
It's a bit more confusing than the Ripper situation.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely more, because one you can call arse, and one you can...
One of the ones that's confusing me now is all the people's names starting with H. I keep forgetting which is which.
yeah, that's true. You see them all, and also when you only see the first 3 letters on PlayStation, it's really not helpful.
Exactly.
It's just not helpful. Oh, the fastest lap last race was 36.3, not 35.3. Fair enough then. No, you can have it. that was me showing my maturity there. So just to make sure that everybody knows, just to make sure, the fastest lap so far tonight is by some dude called Bocco Bomb. Mr. Slaney saying no invite yet, boys. That's because you're not in this race.
That's my bad. I was thrown off. No, yes.
Oh yes, of course, yeah, of course. It's because it says Slaney on there. Yeah, you should call yourself.
I was thrown off with the Robin thing there.
He said he takes that back. There you go. Take it back then. How do you say it? Siob te iti on. That's how you take it back, because that's no invite yet, boys. Backwards. Harvard on speed was kicked from the session because he's not meant to be here. It says Hazard, not Harvard.
Yes.
Maybe he got any mucking fiddle.
On Robin.
Yeah, Robin was here,
I know I'm in a mess.
It's all good. It's all good.
Too many H's.
This is true. You can't drop your H's. You sort of sounding like a Londoner, like, you know what I mean, mate? Yeah, can't drop your H's, mate. Dodgy film.
Just waiting on Robin.
Yes, he's currently just migrating from a garden in Leeds. He should be here soon. I think his flight path was disturbed by a couple of jumbo jets and a flying drone, but otherwise we're hoping for touchdown rather soon. Then again, he might have seen a worm in that garden, and he might have been distracted by it.
Just give him a few minutes here. I've sent him a few invites.
Yay! See, we're being kind. Normally we only send out one and you get 30 seconds, so we're being nice, guys. Come on, try and get in. Obviously, the nature of the beast is to try and get everybody in the races, because obviously it all has a knock-on effect for everybody, unfortunately. But it does. But that's what you get when you've got so many human beings trying to run so many different races in the same place, but not at the same time.
Internets and so many different countries.
Absolutely. But we can make it work. because we're special. Even if I did say so myself.
The impossible possible.
Yes, or are we making the possible impossible? I'm not sure which way round I should be. But however we do it, we do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to go here.
Yeah, I think we've given him more than enough time,
it's a
to be
shame
fair.
Because he is online.
He is around. So sorry, Robin, mate, but if you're watching this stream, by the same time you're hearing your name, you're too late. And so you've got it all to do.
And we're in.
So, ready to rock and roll. I don't know if he'd put anything on Discord. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I'll have a quick look if I can. No. I can't see anything on that particularly. I don't think.
Maybe he's all flustered because he said he was going to be a bit late anyways. Maybe he's only just got on.
Yeah, it's easy done. You can lose your equilibrium a little bit, which is always possible. I'm just trying to see. I just coughed, so I muted myself.
No worries. So here's an interesting fact. Jacques has actually won the most races ever in our series.
In all the series from 1 and 2,
from
etc.
season 1. Yes.
That's cool. If you've got a record of that, that'd be a good thing for us to put on the website or something like that. That'd be cool.
There is a record. It's on one of our sheets somewhere. I think it was 5 race wins.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, how many starts and how many wins? I'm sure we can find that on the website at some point. Ooh, there's some real jack. Oh, where's he gone? Oh no! That's what you call. That's too much. That's too much talent. Then he was putting into that one.
Yeah, the sand pulled him in there.
But I could see the amount of power that Care Bear was putting in at the start there, because his back end was starting to go, as was Jacques there. But Care Bear went in a straight line and Jacques didn't. But hey, these things happen.
To be fair, he's back in the race there.
Yeah, he's got himself. He's caught up. Yeah, which is no mean feat. He did do well in getting himself back into that. So I can't knock him for that at all. That doesn't make a good effort.
Is that Bruce Lee on that delivery there?
Yeah. Chopped up Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan or somebody, doesn't it? It does. It could be Bruce Lee, like fisted a dragon, because he's got that. Yeah. He's got that. You know.
You don't want to be hit by that fist.
Yeah. It does look like Bruce Lee actually. Yeah. It's like, you know, when he's on the island, he says, "Yeah, Mr. Hairman, all of a sudden I want to leave your island." Yeah, it's got to be Bruce Lee. It has to be. But will it deliver some chop socky? Yeah, chop socky. Will he deliver a karate chop at the end? No, maybe not.
You don't want to get in a one-on-one with Matsutsu if he's got Bruce Lee in his corner.
No, this is true. We'll just say, yeah, we'll give you that one. So he's going to take his Joker.
Take his Joker there.
He's probably still going to come out in third if he gets a clean run. Like I say, if you get that corner right, no, he's not. Yeah, yes, yeah, I thought he might be. But again, it really doesn't take that much time, does it?
It depends. You don't want to turn too much on that turn. You actually want to try to take a straight line through it. If you can go straight, there's like an angle and you don't have to turn much. You lose speed in the Joker when you turn more.
Yeah, okay,
so let's see what Matt does here.
He had 1.7 seconds. He might come out with more than that. Yeah, so he's got a very clean run there. He's
rocket up to second actually, so he's made a bit of a comeback.
He's looking pretty good, even though Magnus is getting the best time so far. Of course, I'm interested to see what this lap time is, because he had a pretty clean run. Be interesting if he got
pretty
under
good 36. From the
36.
guys. Unlucky for Jacques hitting the wall at the start, because I think he would have got a much quicker time.
Yeah, he would have done again. All in the 36 is surprised actually. That I thought we might have had something getting closer to Magnus's 35.7, but not at the moment. He's still clinging
But
on to that
was a
one.
3-car race, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. So they had a bit of clean air, so gained a slight advantage. So yeah, your time doesn't count, Magnus. I'm sorry, mate. Sure, that'll please him no end. Not.
Okay.
Of course.
So Jacques can stay here.
Yep, he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's going to stay locked in this lobby. Yep, that's correct. 35.7.
Gone. He decided to leave.
Just so we can come back. It's the return. Oh, right, okay.
I think people just like to be invited.
Yeah, they do. Maybe he's a vampire and he's got to be invited to come back in. I don't know.
It's his weakness if he doesn't get invited.
Yeah, that's it. You throw some, I don't know, garlic at him and
That's how you got to beat them in the races. You don't invite them past.
Yeah, you can just turn around and say, "Oh, that's it. I don't like garlic. I can't see my reflection in a mirror, and I only go out at night." Like, yeah, that sounds dodgy. That sounds very dubious, if you ask me. So here we go. We're into 35.1 was the fastest in Q1. Sorry, 35.7. 35.7 was the fastest in Q7. I went to say then. Oh, God, there's hope for me. Not much, but there is some. So I'm led to believe. But it's probably not much.
Okay, it's just Jacques we're waiting on now, I think.
Yep, because I think he lost sight of the fact that you're in this race.
Didn't have to go, yeah.
You can stay. Should I stay or should I go? No. That was a song by The Clash, by the way, if anyone wants to know. There you go.
That's my kind of music.
Yeah. If you stay, it will be double. If I go, there will be trouble. And for those of you that know, I said that the wrong way around.
How dare you?
I know, that's terrible. Sacrilege. Getting
Right,
this
I
song.
don't know where
well.
Jacques has gone to.
Where's he disappeared to?
I'm just gonna go talk and
Yeah,
find out what's going on.
he's obviously lost his thread there, hasn't he? We wouldn't want anyone to miss out unnecessarily. We'll give everybody every chance to kind of get themselves in. If we can get that, then obviously that's what we will look to do for these guys. Because in all fairness, it's a long old night, and sometimes people can get in a mucking puddle, can't they? Let's face it.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Cool. He kind of lost his thread there, did he?
I think so, I'm not sure.
And the return.
Sweet.
It's not return of the Mac, but it's kind of like the return of the Jacques. Yeah, that works. Terrible. It doesn't get any better. I told you last time how it just does not get better. Unfortunately. So.
But yeah, we've still got a couple of races here, so
yeah,
it's still anyone's race, I think, to get to the semi.
It's all there. Who's going to take their chances? Who knows? That's what makes it interesting, though, because you could have 3 not terribly great rounds, and then you could scrape in by having a perfect 4th.
Yeah.
Probably unlikely, but then again, even not qualifying sometimes gets you in. It's luck of the draw.
I don't think I'm going to get in, not with the performance I had in my race.
You probably got more chance than me, but then again...
If you got through and you didn't even enter, then...
that'd be good, that'd be good. Just come in and guess and win.
By popular demand.
Yes, wipe the floor with everybody, just so everybody can just see how rubbish I really was. Ooh, I didn't know, I thought...
Jacques starting on that same spot.
Yeah, right.
Touching the dirt there, so that's
oh,
good.
he's done it!
I think you got bumped.
I'm not sure on that, I'm trying to...
I think there was
I'm just trying to look on... That looked really weird. That looks really weird because the way that I just looked at the replay there. It looked as if there was no contact, but the way that his car moves tells me that there was. So I'm wondering if there was a bit of lag involved in that, because on the stream it doesn't look like there's any car contact from the angle that we've got.
Oh, we've got John here in front here. He's actually in the he races rallycross for real in RX
Oh yes,
Academy.
of course, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So he should do quite well. He says he's setting himself up for a fall though for that, isn't he? So what does he race? Does he race in the lights or does he race?
No, it's RX Academy is before all that. So it's sort of what they train on, and they do a small series in Europe.
Oh, so would you call it like sort of like
with
junior
the aim
rallycross? Or
Yeah, with the aim of progressing, I guess, to
into the
next
full
stages, which would be either lights or RX Euro or
That's cool.
all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they do like for F1 with the young driver training program and sort of things like that.
Yeah, it'll be like an academy.
That's good. That's good. So it must be decent in all fairness. So there you go. Got something to live up to.
And he races the Clio. So
That's his
make here.
Yeah, that's his favourite poison, for want of a better word. He's doing okay so far. He's got himself a couple of seconds up for himself and Ratek. Obviously, Steve and Jack have both taken the jokers.
Yeah.
They've both done
Shark
those.
must have taken some damage here because he seems to have fallen back a bit.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to have the pace. But he did take a whop though, didn't he, at the beginning?
Yeah, if he hit that wall as hard as...
And it looked a full-on face plant, as far as I'm going to call it. It did look very much a face plant. So I think he would have...
Ratek doing well here, so this is his first race season. He's taken over from Jimenol, who was racing the Honda in Spain.
He's held on to this. He's held on to it. He's done well with it. Steve's car's looking a bit the worse for wear, no offence, but it is. Looking like mine probably would. So yeah, a good.
I think if we weighed that car, it would be a little underweight.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And his front bumper will certainly be. It'll be less than 1.5 millimeters because it doesn't exist.
Now he's exposed his mount. Now.
So there you go. That is now the fastest time of the evening. That is 35.5. Which beats...
Showing everyone how it's done.
Which beats Magnus's 35.7. I'm sure he'd jump on here and correct me otherwise, but yeah, that was a good run. Again, Ratek had a good run. It was again a decent race. I mean, even considering it was a bit unfortunate what happened there, but it looked weird on the stream. It'd be interesting to see what different angles showed, because it didn't look an obvious unless it was like a back end flip coming around. I think it was quite
close into turn one, and that was just a bit of bumping that can send you off.
Yeah, it just didn't look obvious. But then again, it's Project Cars.
But yeah, Shark can stay here and be cameraman. There you go.
Yay! He is the man with the angles. Something like that.
Because now I have to embarrass myself again.
Yay! I heard a collective cheer. It came from all around the world. Oh no, that was just the members of the Flat Earth Society again. Sorry. Yes. From every corner of the globe.
Worried I was going to fall off the edge of the track.
Definitely. I love it when they say from all corners of the globe. That's just one of those phrases that just transcends language. How can you have corners of a globe? It's a bloody globe. Anyway, in the meantime, we're just waiting for everybody to jump in and get ready to rock and roll. See how many people can get into Wednesday's final. Again, because there are 4 rounds, because you have 4 heats. In that way, it works a little bit like Speedway. You could argue. It works a bit like Speedway if somebody watches Speedway. If you're not, then forget it.
I don't really watch that, so I don't really know what that means.
It's
Anyways,
good.
I'm going to jump into the race now.
It's motorcycling with no brakes on a track a bit like this.
Yeah. Oh, that's where they go sideways.
Yes. Black mud at everybody.
I just don't understand the rules.
Yeah, you just race. Whoever gets past the post first wins, pretty much.
Whoever goes most sideways.
Yes. Because you've got no brakes.
In the race now
have fun.
Speak to you after.
No worries, have fun. So, getting ready to go into this next race. And again, if you've been watching us tonight, if you are taking part in tonight, hope you're enjoying yourself, hope you're having good fun, hope you haven't crashed too much. But if you're anything like me, then you probably do. Anyway, here we go. Getting ready to rock and roll. Obviously we've got Matt and Kyle on the first row. I think we'll be trying to see Sean trying to get a few good start here. See if he can get off and get in between. That's what I was expecting him to do. That's pretty much what he appears to have tried to do. So at the moment, no, Kyle's got off to a really good start, which he did last time. Oh, I think there was a bit of touch in there, and I think I just kind of took him out of his comfort zone. Just took him a bit too far. A bit of bump and grind there between Artem and also from Kyle, I think, and Matt. Oh, and that's put paid to Kyle's race there, unfortunately. He was doing okay at first, and I tried to look at that on the replay. I couldn't really see what I was looking for, unfortunately, there. In the meantime, Artem is in the lead from Matt. And Shawnee, who's already done his Joker lap, is currently in third, but they're front two having a battle royale. There's Bruce Lee on that livery there, so Matsucic has gone to do his Joker. He might come out just in front. Is he going to come out in front? No, he's not. He's still in second place. Sorry, yeah, he's still in second. Behind Artem, who's having a pretty solid race, but again, he's still got a Joker to do, so again, it's much closer in this circuit than it was in Spain. Well, the Joker was certainly a 2 to 3 second disadvantage on a normal lap, so less so here, but you've got that really tight corner to navigate, trying to get into it, which, oh no, Artem had gone wide and obviously was trying to get into his Joker. Not much you can do about that. He'd gone really wide and then was trying to come back in and come across with the Joker, and he couldn't do, in all fairness, because Matsucic was coming around. Obviously he was following his line. Artem had gone out wide, so me personally, I think that's more of a racing incident than anything else, because you can't really argue. They were both trying to go for a certain move that the other couldn't have guessed, but hey ho, it is what it is. In the meantime, Shawnee looks like he's going to take the win here. With Hazard in second, Matt's in third, Artem will be fourth, and poor old Kyle there in fifth place, having been looked as if he got wiped. Not really sure exactly, but obviously we'll be able to see that later, and I'm sure he'll tell us when he jumps back in after getting a really good start yet again. So Shawnee takes the win, Hazard takes the second place, Matt takes the third, bit unlucky for Artem taking the fourth, and Kyle coming in fifth, which in all fairness was all he was going to get after that. It was a bit of a smash in that. So again, Shawnee takes the win, Hazard second, Matsucic third, Artem in fourth, and Kyle in fifth. What happened there, mate?
Ish, I feel a bit like a punching bag.
Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't see it clearly what had happened. Obviously, you got a good start again. I saw that. You got a good launch.
I don't really know what happened either. I had a lot of contact behind me.
At first, I thought there was a little bit between you and Artem, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what kind of happened after that, if I'm honest. But it, all I saw then, I tried to look at it on the replay as well, and it didn't really show me anything really good. Not very conclusive from my perspective, and then I just saw you reversing into, because you'd already flipped around on it.
I don't know if I got contact or if I was just a bit damaged, but in the Joker I somehow went into the wall. I don't know if someone followed me in. Or...
Yeah, it's and to be honest, I saw with Artem...
I thought I made a good move there, because I sort of slipped on the inside to take the Joker. I thought I was going to overtake guys after the bit of contact
when you come
from
up.
the beginning.
Yeah, that's where Artem came across, because on the last lap he went in to do his Joker, but he in the penultimate corner before it, he went really, really wide. And then
it is what it is.
And obviously the other driver wasn't doing the Joker but was coming in narrow, so Artem had gone wide to his left and then was trying to come back in across him. I think it was Matsucic, and obviously he T-boned him, but it wasn't it wasn't Matsuchic's fault because he was taking the inside line. Artem had gone out wide to come back across. Really, in truth, I think Artem should have waited because he'd gone wide, so he'd lost the track position to go and run across somebody to do his joker. But it's one of them things that happens. He just took the corner wrong. He got it wrong, and unfortunately for him, it didn't pan out. If he on another day, he might have got lucky. He might have got lucky and just got past, but it didn't quite work this time. But that's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
One day I'll get a race where I'm not a punching bag. One day.
Yeah, well, you won't. Yeah.
For now, I'll be the sponge. I'll just take it.
You know that boxing figure that you get that's like life-size man thing that you punch and kick.
Yeah.
I'll have to make a new one and put your face on it. There you go. You can have
nice.
You can have. You know, if you want to take out your frustrations, then buy yourself a Kyle.
I guess that's why it's called Rally Fighters.
Absolutely, because there was plenty of fighting in there. Artem was saying at 8:30, when's my next quali? And that's alright, he was already told, you're in Q2, round 2, that's fine.
Right, so we're just waiting on one person here, I think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my listing back up, because it just decided to fall off.
Matt. No, Matt's here. We're waiting for Robin.
Is it Robin?
Robin got the first invite again, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's something not quite going to plan on that one, is it?
He is online.
There's something not working. Where are you, Robin? Come in. Stop trying
I'm
to...
just gonna have to go, he's not in game.
Yeah, stop trying to make... Well, if he's not in a game, then... You haven't got much chance of making it in 30 seconds, have you? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, everyone knows what the rules are. They're there for everybody. It's the same for everybody. We've got to be fair to everybody, haven't we? That's, you know, the plain fact is, some people can't be up as late as others. Some people have got commitments earlier in the morning than some of the rest of us. So you've got to take this all.
Are here at stupid hours of the day, and
exactly.
they still make it.
Exactly. So, you know. These are those things. For me, it's only 8:43 p.m. in the evening, which is kind of cool. It works okay for me.
So I'm actually in the future.
You are. So,
yeah.
So if I went there, would I go forward in time, or if I was, like I said, if I was in Australia and I came over to the UK, would I be back to the future, or would I be forward to the past? Not sure.
It's very, very confusing, to be honest.
Yes. All these things can be answered in the next instalment of I made it all up, so you're never going to know. So, in the meantime, we're looking at berries if we have to, but we are. We can see that Matt does his usual. But Matt does that every race, and he gets a really good launch. So he must get some good launch control.
It does give you a good launch, but if you do it a bit early and you slide too much, it gives you a disqualification. So you got to time it right.
Yeah, because I was going to say, and also if you're doing that, and obviously, I mean, the way that I started with mine is I had it fully revved, but in neutral, and I just clicked into first gear the minute the green lights come on. That was how I tried to do it, but that's because I'm not using the clutch at this point in time.
In the lights though, you can't do much.
I don't think he had much choice there. I don't think that was a deliberate cut, if I'm honest with you. I think the way his car was facing took him in that direction, and there wasn't really anywhere else to go, so I'm not going to blame him for that one, I don't think. In truth, it's a bit of a close race, this. Yeah.
It's a close race. Kawanachi going on his joker. Nice and tidy.
Yeah, he took that, I thought, quite within himself. He didn't look as if he was pushing that.
On the back of the guards again.
Yeah, he didn't look as if he was pushing that.
Is anyone else taking the joke?
No, he's the only one. He's the only one that's done it, so it's closer than it looks.
As long as he can sit there.
The main fact for him is getting the Joker out of the way. He's got 2 laps to generate a bit of pace.
For a move, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be tight because they're all going to go.
Take his Joker.
They're all going to. Oh no, okay, just Barry's going. That did kind of surprise me, but is he going to come out in last place? He's just got in third. He's just got in. Oh, was there a bit of contact there? Did he get? Was there a bit of contact there? I'm just trying to look at that again.
Overshot the turn. Driving too hard, I think.
I just looked at the replay. He might have just caught the back end of him. Might. It's very, very tight. I'm just looking at how the car moves. He might have.
Oh, this is dangerous.
No.
That's what you don't want to do going into the Joker.
That's pretty much.
Cars right behind you.
That's what happened in the previous race with Artem and Matsucic.
That happened to me in the lights, but I saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen, so I braked. But it slows you down.
Oh yeah. The difficulty is if you go wide coming out of that turn, you've got to hope you're far enough ahead of everybody else because you've got to cut across.
Yeah. No, it's a very. Even last season, we saw some very strange things happen there.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? It's where they. It's obviously why they put the Jokers where they put them. Because there are easier places they could go. I think Mr. Norlander is with us. I did just briefly see something come up on the side. I think he is with us.
Well, he's still got 2 more races he can race in. So.
Yeah, you never know. You got to be in it to win it. So, and if
who knows? Maybe
if Spain taught us anything,
can't make it.
Yeah, Spain taught us anything. It's never take anything for granted.
Exactly.
Because it's never going to work like that.
All right. So we're missing Martin. Martin won't be in this one. So it's going to be a 4-car race.
So let's jump into here. Come on, you lovely piece of equipment. So we're just going to have Mr. Bear, Mr. Magnus, Mr. Kenny and Mr. Hart.
Magnus is going to be wanting to set his faster time again, so let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, you want to pinch that one back, won't he? He will want to pinch that one. I'm sure he'd like to get the fastest across all the heats that he's in. You'd want to, wouldn't you? Let's face it. I certainly want to if I had a chance of doing it, but I haven't, so I don't. I just aim to get the worst time in every heat that I'm in. It's something I can do really well.
That's pretty much what I've been doing so far.
But it's all about the enjoyment. It has to be.
I think so far it would be probably between me and Jacques, who's got beaten up the most.
Yeah, that's why exactly rally fighters. We should call it. I don't know.
We should have a round just for the guys to beat each other up. And it's like
rally MMA
session.
Yeah. Rally UFC.
You do it on the full track. You have 16 cars, and they just beat each other.
Yeah, it'd be just like Demolition Derby, wouldn't it? It's just absolute mayhem. I think that was the game that was going to be called Wreckfest, that was allegedly supposed to have come out last year but didn't, and keeps getting put off. And then I believe it's a game that's on PC where you actually just smack into each other.
Wrecked it.
Yeah. I don't know much else about it, but I mean, enough people in Project Cars lobbies do that anyway, so what else would you want? In all honesty.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get it better than Project Cars public lobbies.
Yeah, and let's face it.
More wreckage, but it's tough.
It's got something to live up to, hasn't it? There is nothing like the first chicane at Monza. For an absolute, total, complete and utter pile-up.
I've got bad memories of Monza.
Yeah, it's an absolute pile-up. If ever I'm in a public lobby, I start 16th. Let them all crash and then carry on from there. Anyway, in the meantime, we're not going to have that happen here. This is going to be a good, clean race. This could be a fast.
There. 2 Hondas, 2 Audis.
This could be a fat race. This could be a really, 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 really close race.
Yeah.
In theory, it should be fast.
These are the fastest guys from qualifying 2 of Spain. Yeah. So these are fast guys.
These are the top. Yeah, I forgot to tell people how we did that this week. But hey, you've got to work something like yourself. So in the meantime, Magnus got off to a good start on the inside, but he got beaten into it by Caldera, who's got himself in front. I think on showing tonight, these are the top two performing guys tonight. I think that's fair. Magnus has gone. Yeah, but he still managed to get round. Still managed to get round. I think Matt decided he's going to stay out.
It's super sideways.
Yeah, he gave it. He went full on there, didn't he? I nearly got those two mixed up, man. Even though the cars are different, they did look similar for a moment. I just looked at the number. So at the moment we got Mr. Matt Care Bear out there in front, but Magnus has done his Joker lap, so this could be really tight when he comes out. He's gonna get in.
More than the hundreds.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot more. They've probably got a lot more torque, and they've got a slightly shorter wheelbase. Well, they've got a shorter wheelbase, haven't they?
Yeah. Audis are probably the shortest.
Oh, I thought this was going to be tight. Magnus has managed to just get himself in front. He just managed to get himself in. Yeah, that's what I mean. I knew it was going to be tight then coming out of there. This is really, really tight. Oh, I think he got some contact then. I think they both got some contact
there.
He
almost went off.
But I think to be fair to Matt as well. I think Matt also hit the brakes a bit. Yeah, I think he did. I can't swear on it, but it looked it just at viewing.
But in all fairness, to save it.
Yeah, he did well there, because that could have pushed him right the way round, and he would have been in fourth, and quite definitely. So yeah, good bit of race craft there shown. In all fairness. See again how wide
is getting super sideways.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if he can get a good time being that side.
He throws it very wide, but he almost looks as if he's going to overcook it, but then just at that point
crashed a bit there.
Yeah, he looked as if he tried to do the same sort of thing, but didn't hold it. Yeah. See again, you look at where the torque kicks in.
Matt ran a bit wide there. Looks like
he's going to get taken. Yeah, Kenny's coming in. But Matt might take it back here. No, I think Kenny's got the run. Kenny
held the speed.
Kenny
just beat him.
Yeah, that was probably the closest race of the night, all told. I think, was it a fast one? Yeah, it was. Yeah, 35.3 from Magnus. Yeah, I thought that looked 35.8 from Harvard as well. So he got himself in on there. Again, not the fastest from Matt. We might be a bit disappointed in that, in truth, at the end, because he looked like he got a good start.
I think he overcooked that one turn trying to catch Magnus.
I think he pushed it too much, and I think he lost more off it than Magnus did, in truth. But again, a good win, a very good win. So that makes sure that he gets the accolade for the fastest times in Q1 and Q2. I think
quite impressive that he can keep such speed going so sideways.
Yeah, he maintains it. He maintains it well. That's not without some good practice, I think. I think there's a fair bit.
So we've got Stephen in here ready to go already. This is what we like to see.
Rock and roll. That's all good. That's all good. So 2 down, 2 to go. That's what they say.
Okay, we have Shark again on his way.
Into
qualifying 3 now, if anyone was wondering.
So this is heat 1 of Q3. And I'm sure I'll probably I might even get a top 3 off Magnus soon. You never know. But we shall see. But yeah, again, most of the races are relatively close just by nature of what they are.
I'm going to have to give a couple of these guys the boot, I think.
Yeah, we got people who are like forgetting to kick themselves out. It's almost as if they're waiting to be kicked, aren't they?
I think some people might like it. They like a little abuse.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like a good kick up the... Yeah, well... if you like a bit of rectum ruining, then that is up to you.
I think my Renault likes that.
Yeah, true. It is a glutton for punishment, isn't it? Although mainly it seems to take it in the face rather than in the ass. But like make of that as you will. I mean, it's Renault, it's French. I'm not saying anything. And we're in France, so yeah. Ooh la la. Exactly.
It's actually a shame that Martin couldn't make it, because he would have been our only French driver of the night.
This is true. He could have been the home driver. He's probably in the Moulin Rouge watching the girls high kicking while climbing the Eiffel Tower trying to find the American Werewolf in Paris. Or something like that. you never know. Weirder things have happened. Or he could be at a Women's World Cup match. That's in France.
So yeah, so we've got Johnny here again.
This could be Steve, Jacques and Ratek, who has certainly not disgraced himself, unlike somebody else.
Basically everyone in this race is new. They never raced Spain, so this is all.
So this is their
guys
debut for season 3.
Their first race.
Guys are doing it for themselves. No, that was a different song, wasn't it? Standing on their own 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, so Johnny was fastest in Q2, but yeah, it was 35. Was it 35.2 to 35.3 or something like that? But Magnus is leading.
Numbers don't mix.
Magnus is still leading in the provisional standings over the 2 anyway. Thanks for that, Mr. Berries. So anyway, here we go. The Fantastic 4.
Very good for Ratek. Yeah. He comes from the back.
That looks a really risky start. But again, sometimes you think it's a false start, but it's not. And that's because I'm not getting to see.
Very well.
That's because I don't get to see the lights all the time. So 3 out of the 4 are taking the Joker. Yeah, that's.
So this is good for Ratek. He's got no pressure on him, basically.
Yeah, if he can come out front, which he does, then.
He's lost time there, but sideways.
It almost looks relative, because when you look at the course, yeah, he did lose a bit. He lost about 0.3 of a second there at that point. But then, depending where it is on the track, that's forever changing, isn't it? The only time I really look at it and see what the proper gap is.
Now he went off.
Yeah, oh god, he's all over the place. I think he might even be taking somebody out there. I think he took himself out. Yeah, he took himself out there.
I think he just took a bit too much sand there. He went a bit wide.
Yeah, he just lost it completely. Oh, somebody else has overcooked it there. Was it? Yeah, he did. And Steve did. Oh, and he's no.
Oh, he's on his roof.
Yeah, he had. In fairness to Ratek, he had nowhere to go. You can't blame Ratek for that. He had nowhere to go. But I think Steven's buggered. I don't think he's moving. Oh yeah, he is backwards.
Hopefully he finishes the race. Or is he just going to pull to the side? He might just.
Yeah, I think he's taking himself off the track. I think his car's knackered. Because that was a full-on. I think he's probably got irreparable damage from that. Because that was a full-on T-bone in. He's lucky actually. Ratek's probably lucky that he didn't get that as well. From hitting him full on.
We were joking a bit on the community before about some airtime. There was some pictures of some real-life cars flying around. We didn't think we were going to see any here.
No, but we have proof that we can produce this in the Project Cars physics world. Yeah, it looks rather forlorn there. I think he's a bit dead, for want of better words. Unfortunately.
So this has all worked in Johnny's favour here. He's a nice clean.
Yeah, he's got himself a good little run. He's got a nigh on 4-second lead. So. Nothing silly, obviously he still wants to get the win under his belt, and I think Jacques will be quite happy with 2nd place because that was quite eventful for him. But as he overcooked it, I think Steve overcooked it as well. I think Ratek obviously.
I think a lot of people overcooked it there, but
I don't think Ratek had any choice there. He really didn't have a choice at all.
No, he definitely had no. He probably hit the brakes as well, but just carrying too much speed.
Yeah, I could have done actually, because that's probably what's pulled him right the way across, and he's ended up into the wall. Which is not what he wanted, really. Not the ideal thing that you would like to be.
So that was an eventful first race for this round.
It certainly was. It was
now, if you want to see somebody have more of an eventful race, you get your opportunity. I get to embarrass myself once again.
I was going to say, I wonder who this could be. I wonder. You never know. Because what I say is, come on everybody, you got to smile, because it's Kyle. Or maybe that's a grimace, I'm not sure, but we'll say smile because it rhymes with Kyle. Grimace doesn't. So you'd have to change your name.
That's a bit of a stretch. You're a poet. It's quite a tough one to rhyme.
It is. This is true. I find... Is there actually a word that rhymes with grimace? There's one word in the English language that nothing rhymes with, and that's... If you buy beer, you buy it in a pint. There is not another word in the English language that rhymes with that word.
We'll have to think on that one. We can maybe solve the puzzle.
Yeah, it's one of those words that nothing else rhymes with.
Just inviting Robin here. Let's hope he gets into this one.
Yeah, well, like I say, I saw the thing saying that he was on, so I'm assuming that he's going to try and salvage something. If he's ready, that depends whether... I mean, obviously, if he got on here, then I assume he's ready. He might have just jumped on to see where he was and see where we were at the moment. But if you are listening, Robin, you've missed 2, but you can still make 2, and here he is. There you go. At least he got back in time for a couple, and if you're involved in it, then you've always got a chance. Because if a couple can't make it, then you never know. You've only got to ask...
We've got our favourite Russian here.
You've only got to ask Ripper Rapper, haven't you, for that one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame those guys couldn't make it, but hey, it's one of them things. It would have been good.
Just waiting on one more person. I think it's Matsutsik.
Yeah, it is. As we're jumping into Heat 2 of round number 3. Is he coming in? He's keeping us waiting.
I don't know if he's online because he hides.
Yeah, that's... I do that sometimes. Be incognito. Well, I haven't got a clue. I haven't looked at it for yonks. In fact, for me, my short-term memory is like a goldfish. So every day's like Groundhog Day. You just wake up and then whatever happened yesterday just didn't happen. That's a very interesting sort of avatar.
Alright, so I'll check you after.
Famous 5, get ready to rumble. So here we go. This is heat number 2 of qualifying round number 3. So again, 6 more races after this one to finish off our qualifying round for this evening. So that's 6 more heats after this. So including this, we got 7. There you go, 6 plus 1 is 7. You learn something so educational watching this. It's not just superb racing and amazing crashes and innate waffling from me, but it also involves education. You can't beat an education. You can give it a good kicking, but you can't beat it. Allegedly. Anyway, famous 5 in heat number 2. So we got Kyle on the outside of Matt. There we got Robin, who's managed to get home in time in his Audi, alongside Artem, and right at the back we've got Hazel there, who's taking up the rear. Kyle for the 3rd race running gets off to a cracking start. But he's gone wide. Oh, and he's done it again. I don't believe it. How unlucky can you be? This is... Whatever this guy tells you his lottery numbers are, just don't pick him for Christ's sake. I've never met somebody who's so unfortunate in all my born days. In the meantime, Matsutsik has got the lead, having taken his Joker lap. Hazard and Rob are both fighting there. Obviously, Hazard has taken his... I think Rob got a bit of a flip out from that, but I think that was natural from the way that the cars were moving. But obviously Robin's still coming back again. Yeah, contact again, wasn't it just? I feel so sorry for Kyle for that. Because he's just not had any luck whatsoever with regard to any of this. So Robin's getting his first race in of the night. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's gone like a dog for K9 tonight, hasn't it? Really poor choice of words, I know. So, Matt's still leading. Rob obviously now is taking his Joker into second place. Hazard in third. Artem is there in fourth. There's a good battle going on here between second, third and fourth with a lap to go. Artem's lost a little bit of ground, but he might gain back with these two battling each other. We've got Rob and Hazard battling each other. In fairness to the K9, he's still fighting his way around, but 3 races, 3 potential hits after 3 really good starts. So there's Artem taking his Joker, which obviously has lost him he's lost out on a bit of ground there on the other 2 guys who are trying to fight it out to the death with a lap to go. So Matt with the lead. Obviously Mr. Norlander and Hazard in a pretty titanic battle for second and third. Matsuchik's taking that one a little bit wide, but I think he can afford to do that. He's got enough of a lead, I think, to be able to hold on. Robin got himself into second. Hazard into third. Artem in fourth. With Kyle, unfortunately for him, coming back in fifth after another uneventful slapping. Unfortunately, it's getting to the point where he's becoming everybody's bitch, and not in a way he wants to. So as we take it, Matsuchik takes the win. Robin Norlander comes in for his first race tonight and gets himself a second place and a good time involved in that as well. Oh man, 3 out of 3.
Well,
3 out of 3. 3 good starts, 3 tank slappings, 3 smacks into the wall.
Yeah, I got rear-ended there somehow.
I just said...
I see a pattern here. I think I need a bad start to...
I mean, in fairness, Matt, Care Bear said contact again for you, and I said, yeah. I said K9's having a dog of an evening.
Yeah. Now you see why I chose the name.
Yeah, it's... put it this way, if you were a dog, this is a point where you'd probably sit down and lick your own nuts. Because there's little else.
I think the SPCA would have come.
There's little else left for you to do
by now.
There's little else left to do. I think the idea in round 4 is to hopefully get through it without being smashed to bits.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to lay off at the start. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just let everyone go.
But you've had 3 good starts, right? You've had 3 rapid starts. You got off the start line. You got off the grid well on each time. But the common denominator for me is you've always been on that right hand side.
Yeah, it's because it's the inside. Everyone's trying to go quick, I guess. Yeah. Nobody's really on the brakes.
You've always had the narrow line. So as they're coming around, as their cars are sweeping around, this is just my take on it. Might not be true, but it's my take on it.
I got to slow down a bit if I want to keep the inside there, and they're just not slowing down enough, I think.
Yeah, their cars are coming round, and then obviously as your rear end is coming around in Scandinavian flip style, then whoever is coming up behind you without the brakes on, their front end is hitting your side, and it's just pushing you right off, and then you just face plant into the nearest wall because you've got nothing else you can do. That's what it looks like. Again, we'd have to view it. Your angle's probably better actually, but than the one that I've got.
I don't see much. I race in the helmet cam, so I'm just feeling contact and seeing walls.
Yeah, you've seen more walls than the ice cream manufacturers. In fact, you've seen more walls than a house builder. Unfortunately.
It's a good thing these cars have reverse gears.
Yeah, otherwise you would be, parked, for want of a better word. So we have another famous 5 in this one. Again, looking quite a tasty looking group here. So we have Mr. Berries, we have Harvard on speed, we have Kenny Shep, Comaneci, and Mr. Morris. So again, to be fair, most of the heats work out pretty well.
So obviously, the first round of qualifying was random this time. It's going to be always random first round of qualifying.
Which is the fair way, isn't it?
That I use. But this season we've just tried to get the lobbies a bit more equal so that you don't have the slow guys or the slower guys interfering with what
Well, yeah, it's trying to
slightly
seed it.
faster
It's,
guys can do.
it's
So,
almost trying to seed it a little bit, isn't it? It's trying to
it's
put.
sort of keeping more to the true rallycross, but we just don't have the time to organize it as the event's going. So we're using the previous
next best
event's
option, isn't
times.
it? Yeah, which is
So-
always a good thing, because even though the track is different, etc., etc., the skill of the participants is not.
Exactly. So you're
So
generally going to get the same sort of guys.
Well, I
doing
think that's borne out
pretty
tonight,
well.
isn't it? It's borne out tonight, isn't it? The guys that get the
so-
fastest times on one track will probably usually be there or thereabouts on the next one as well.
Yeah. So basically, how it works now is qualifying 2 of this was from the results of qualifying 2 of Spain, and the same for qualifying
Qualifying
3 and
3.
4.
So again, looking at this now,
and
on
then Germany will be what guys come here. So I will be in the worst group for Germany.
see again, you look at Berry
Jump
now.
start. We have our first jump start of the night by
was that
Matt Morris.
Oh, gutted. But Berry's got a good
He's
start.
doing well.
Berry's got a good start, but you notice the difference was Berry started in the same position as you, but the difference was he didn't have Matt Morris, who was the outside starter on.
He had a little bit of space to work with.
Yeah, so to me that was the big difference, and that gave him a bit of a run. Actually, they've come out
So we've got
further ahead
sort of
than I
2
thought.
fights here. We've got Aries and Harvard and Kenny and Kamachi.
Yeah, 2 little dog fights going on here. They're both pretty good fights.
I think what slowed the guys at the back a bit is that they are fighting. Because when you have clear air, then you're going quick. But they just trying to keep it together there, which slows you down slightly.
I thought Berries might have gone then, but actually he's probably thinking, you know what, I've got a gap, I'll run with it and maybe go with it on the last lap.
Yeah, he doesn't want the pressure of guys breathing down his neck, so he's just going to try to sit it.
I was going to say, that tick came up late for Harvard. I thought I'd just seen him come out of his joker. So now, the idea for Berries is to try and stretch that lead out a bit if we can. It's going to be tight this, you know, because he's...
I don't know if he's going to joker here. He might try to put in a slightly faster lap and do it on the last lap.
No, he's going. He's going.
Out.
I agree with you. I think he might have fared better going on the last lap, because I think he'd lost a bit on that one, and I think he needed to gain a bit. He's going to come out second, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be
no, he's
very
not.
close.
No,
Harvard goes
he's made
sideways,
it.
though.
Yeah, but Harvard's got the inside. It's
Ooh.
Berries.
No,
He's cooked it. He's
Harvard
overcooked it. Oh, the pressure got to him. He's cooked it. Oh. Well, that's
got Kenny.
that's worked for Berries. That's worked well for Berries. And Kenny might even gain, because he's got his straight line speed's pretty good. I have noticed that his straight line.
The Honda is very quick all around. It's the most used car, I would say, for the time trials, because it's very solid.
Yeah, it just seems quick over the ground. It seems quick in a straight line. It certainly seems to have the straight line speed, because he is gaining. Not massively, but he is gaining. I mean, but I think
it's
in
nice
truth,
to see the Renaults having some wins off tonight in some of these heats.
Instead of crashing.
Not a car usually used. Yeah.
But it proves it's capable.
It's usually used, so it's good to see that it can hold its own.
Certainly proves it's capable. You've got to feel sorry for Matt Morris, but it is what it is. Right, it's unfortunate, but it's one of them things. You've got to wait for that green light. If you let go before that green light, then in Rallycross you can't do false starts. It's just got to be done and over with, unfortunately. A bit like athletics. No room for manoeuvre.
Was it who was doing the big burnouts? Was it Matt Morris or was it Care Bear Matt?
I think that was Care Bear Matt, because Matt Morris had died on that.
No, I mean in all the previous races.
Oh, sorry, in the previous round. To be honest, I think they've both done quite big. They've both run, because Care Bear Matt's thrown it really wide. But Matt Morris has as well.
I mean, on the start line, there's a guy who's always.
Yeah, Matt Morris. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, he's always. It's for me. He's not clutch dipping. He must be, because if he was clutch dipping, then
Yeah, no, you hold your handbrake and you just give it power, but if it creeps forward too much, you get a penalty.
Yeah, he's thumping. Because what I do, I've just got my car in neutral. I've just got it in neutral, but my foot is to the floor, and as soon as that green light goes, I flick that gear into first. It's probably not as fast as like clutch dipping or whatever, but
and in these cars, I'm actually doing what Matt's doing, but I do it a bit later than what he does. He seems to be doing it straight, almost from when it allows you to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
control.
if he gets, it's high risk, high reward, isn't it? It really is. Because if you get it right, Care Bear was just saying it was me who was doing the. But I think you both were, to be honest. I think he was. I think Matt Morris was as well. I think they've both been doing it. It's both the maps.
It's a good tactic when it works. But
he said, "I love
sometimes."
He said he loves the wheel spin. Bless him. Whatever floats your boat, mate. If that tickles your fancy, that's all yours. We won't tell anyone. Yeah, we won't tell anybody. So anyway, we are getting ourselves in and ready for.
Okay,
Let's just get out of these. Everybody's in. Oh wow, that was a quick one. Everyone is in.
So it's interesting because the way that these are set up, like we said, was the way that guys have qualified from Spain, and we're seeing Sean now in the race with the fast guys. So this is the furthest up the board he's been tonight.
That's good. Like I say, it's all going to come with more experience, I suppose. The more you do, the better it gets. In truth.
So this is the last race for qualifying 3, and then we're on to our last stage of qualifying.
Yay. So, is our previous leader.
So you've seen how the guys have been doing. Who do you think's going to make it to the corner first?
Looking at this, I would say, from the outside, it's a toss-up here from Magnus. Man, you're saying that, you look in the middle, right? I wouldn't even discount any of the guys behind. I wouldn't even discount that Honda.
I think Care Bear is going to get a good launch here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what I thought. Because the Honda, like, you get there. I mean, the Audi
race.
But again, he managed to do that from the inside. Oh, yeah, he's going to take that in.
2 into the Joker.
But the Honda seems to get a rapid start as well. It just seems rapid anyway. Considering you think the Audi is a bit more squat as a car. And you'd think that would...
The Audi and the stats, when you check the stats in the game, the Audi actually has the slowest acceleration.
But it's a squat little car, isn't it? It looks as if it's got a shorter wheelbase.
It does. I think it's possibly the shortest one.
Yeah, it looks it. It looks like...
The Citroen and the VW.
This would be interesting. Yeah, I was just going to see how that panned out, and they both held that really, really well. But I think Magnus is trying to get more traction. That's tight.
That's like 4 cars wide.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. I think. Yeah,
backwards.
4 wasn't going to work there.
That was a tight squeeze.
And again, I think that's more of a race incident than anything else. Oh, Magnus has gone. Magnus has gone as well. Oh. So Shawnee is looking to try and get up on Helmer here.
Well, his eyes on the front of his car are definitely looking.
Yeah, they're beady
they
eyes.
They haven't blinked once.
Yeah, they haven't blinked, they haven't winked. They're just fixed and dilated. But they're not dead. Will he get this now? That was his chance.
There's 1 lap left. So.
Yeah, I thought that was his chance to try and gain some ground then into that corner, because he looked as if he had it. But in fairness to Magnus,
well, we know Helmer likes to send it around these corners. So if he takes it slightly too wide,
I think he bent it then, didn't he? He went off.
His back wheel touched the side track there.
Yeah, he looked as if might get a reprieve. thought for a moment that Helmer had lost a bit of traction. It looked like he'd lost a little bit. He's got him back in all fairness. And I don't know what happened to Magnus there. Something else must have happened.
I think he took a bit too much damage. You can't see out his windows there.
Yeah, that's not the race he wanted, but I don't. It's not going to harm his prospects of getting himself into the final 12 anyway. I don't think. You know, it's one of them
he's got
things.
another race as well, so.
Yeah, I think he's well placed, but he probably would have liked to have topped the qualifying standings.
He's gonna do no worse than what I've done.
No, I'm sure that makes him feel so much better.
Yeah. Let's just say my car took quite a lot more damage than that. So,
so Janeski has taken the third round. I believe that Mr. Berries has furnished me with that information, so thank you very much for that. So at least, well, we've had a different person taking each round, haven't we? Which is interesting. So obviously Magnus took the first round. I've just forgotten who took the second round.
It is nice to see very close racing.
So it just keeps it interesting, doesn't it? Was it? So Johnny's taken round 3. I just forgot who took. Was it Care Bear who took round 2? I think it was.
I'm not sure actually.
I think it was. It's just my memory banks. They're not what they used to be, bless them. Who knows? But it's definitely on here, because I know. Because Berry stuck it up on here.
Alright, we've got all our guys in again.
Yay! Happy days, that's what we like.
Obviously these guys are sort of racing each other the whole time because none of them set times for the last race, so they're sort of always in the same.
Yeah, they're all in the same
race.
boat, so to speak. Yeah, they're all going to be. Yeah, it's always going to be that until you get to next time out, where they've hopefully got some. Well, yeah, they didn't have it last year, did they? So it's going to be into the next series before they get there. So that's cool. So we are now into the final round. The final round of heats. Not the final heat of rounds. The final round of heats.
But it might get heated.
It could. It could definitely get heated. And here we go.
We know Shark has probably had the second most rotten luck tonight. So.
Yeah, he's not come out well, has he? Bless him. In all fairness, if it wasn't for you, he'd probably be the person who would probably have the most sympathy for this evening.
In fact, it's probably what's getting him through. It's knowing that someone has got worse luck than what he's got.
Yeah, that's true. So away we go, and again. Jack's got a good start, but Johnny went wide. He's still held in the lead though. Still managed to get himself well in front. Again, possibly looking the standout performer so far tonight. Oh, there's a fair bit of contact there between him, Steve, and Jack there. Coming in.
Hold on to it.
Oh, and Stephen just took a side swipe there as well. So provisional standings at the end of round 3, by the way. The top 3.
Ran wide there.
The top 3 at the end of round 3 were Johnny, Magnus, and Harvard on speed. So he's got himself into there. He's probably taken that space because obviously what happened to Care Bear Matt. I think otherwise Care Bear Matt would have been in that shake-up somewhere. But hey ho,
I'm in no shake-up. My car's shooken up there.
You are the shake-up. I'm all shook up. That could be your song. That could be your signature song. Oh dear me. See, I've got a wasted mind, haven't I? My mind is just wasted. In the meantime, on the track, our leader
We have a few fighters here. I've just realised that Jacques is a samurai.
He is.
Does he Bruce Lee in one of the cars? We've got a samurai.
This is true. But does he have a sword made by Hattori Hanzo? That's the thing. And if you've seen it,
you never know what's in the boot of that Audi.
No, and if you've seen any Kill Bill films, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you'll wonder what they're. Oh! Dear me. That was
still holding it.
That was some serious slapping there. There's got to be some damage involved in that. Luckily, it's on lap 4, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I think Johnny's has done pretty well there. I think he's going to. He might do well, even though he's got his.
Keeping it very clean. You can see that he's.
I think he was within himself doing that. He's not throwing the car around in the manner that he could.
I think he knows he just needs to set times.
It's about being there, isn't it? You can do what you want in qualifying. The main fact is getting there, I think, is the order of the day. So he takes the win. Obviously, he's topping the leaderboard after 3 of the rounds. And here comes Steve, who's a little bit unlucky, in all fairness to him. But
I think he's trying to see if he can get his Renault a bit more beaten up than mine.
Yeah, he's making a fine effort, bless him. But he needs to be told, if you want some serious damage, you've got to go in head first, not sideways. It just doesn't do the same thing. But again,
he went roof first earlier. Actually, he flipped. Remember?
True. He has. He's done a full spectrum now, hasn't he?
Ah.
So Johnny's gets a 35.6 again in a good race. Takes the win. Jacques taking in a 36.2 in second. Again, like I say, it's good that we've had different people winning the rounds. It's like you said. I think at the top end it's tight. I think you've probably got maybe top 3 or 4 are probably a little bit ahead of the rest, and then you've got like the bottom couple or so that probably like streets behind everybody else. But the only way's up.
Now is the moment everyone's been waiting for, to see if I can have a perfect streak of
can you actually get round? Yeah, can you actually not get a good start, not be on the inside, not get wiped out on the first corner? Is it possible?
We'll see. I'll adjust my strategy slightly.
Yeah, you'll stay on the starting line until every bugger else goes, and then just wait and see. Or buy yourself a tank.
But we're going to see some other drivers here that we haven't seen sort of this early in the qualifying. We've got Magnus in this one.
Yeah, this makes it a bit. This shakes it up a little bit, doesn't it? But that's only because. I
don't know if it's such a good thing that there's a bomb in my session.
Oh yeah, we don't want those. It just came up on my screen telling me that my PS4 was about to go into rest mode. So sorry if that comes up. That'll come up on the stream in a moment.
So that happens whenever it's bored of watching me race.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm not touching. Magnus is saying, "Am I racing now?" Yes, you are, mate. If you can hear me, yes, you are. But obviously there'll be a few seconds on the stream delay from him actually hearing that, so give him a few seconds. But yes, you are. Get your mighty little ass inside this room. Yes, that's yeah. Right, something's happened obviously. Go on then. He needs to get some water. Is that for your engine or for you? I'm drying out. He's got a mouth like a nun's. Yeah, we're not going to say the other word, are we? But you can imagine what it could be. Something in a nun that's possibly dry. Yes, absolutely, because you've got that garb on, which is called a something or other that I can't actually say at the moment. It's not. It's not.
Because she doesn't wash it.
Is it a habit? Does it get called a habit with a nun? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I lived in the Middle East for many years, so we didn't have many nuns.
No, this is probably true. In fact, I would imagine you could count them on the finger of a chopped off hand.
Probably.
I want to know, right, if they have the Middle East and they have the Far East, I've never heard of anything called the Near East.
Yeah. That's probably wherever you're from is the Near East. It's the nearest. It
is. I just thought of that. No, Middle East, Far East. What's the Near East then? So is the Near East really in the West? I don't know. Why do we have such stupid, bloody things that we describe things with? It's just silly sometimes. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. But hey, the idiosyncrasies of the English language, far beyond my scope anyway.
So we're just waiting here for Magnus now.
Yeah, he said he's joined. He said I'm joining in a minute. I'm just going upstairs now. He say, run for your life. Imagine you're being chased by zombies or something. Man, yeah, that's like town centre on a Friday night, isn't it? When everyone's pissed. that's like zombies, isn't it? Except they're just lying on the floor, throwing up, or just making sort of noises. I think you just about made it there, mate, but you're in. So we're ready to rock and roll.
And off we go. I'm going to go on radio silence so that I can take my beating in private, or you
have
might
some
hear
fun
some words that
and try, just try to get past that first corner. Are you going to be in pole position?
Jeez, I don't know. All I know is I'm going to hold off a little more.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth the beating. We shall see. It is like one of the miracles of modern science. Could it possibly happen? People have joined from around the world. Celebrities have flown in from all four corners of the globe. Yes, I did say all four corners of the globe. I know. Because if you know, a globe doesn't have any corners. It's like saying the circumference of a rhombus. It doesn't happen. Anyway, Kyle is pleased to know he's on the outside. So, in theory, he shouldn't crash. He only crashes on the inside, which is where Magnus is. So he's there next to Hazard there. So again, we will be looking to see if Magnus can get a flying start. Obviously behind him we got two Matts who generally get pretty flying starts too. So this could be interesting. Magnus definitely got the pace, but obviously he's got the tightest line. So will he get off quick enough to be able to come out a little bit and take that first corner properly in full power, which is what will generate him a lead if it can. Anyway, we're ready to rock and roll. Oh, was that a falsy? No, it wasn't. It was just a damn good start from Matt Morris, who does fly off. So Matt Morris takes the lead with Magnus in second place. Hazard taking the third. And other Matt, oh Kyle, did you do it again, mate? I think you did, but I think you came out okay. At least it wasn't on the first corner. So anyway, nobody's taken a joker. Everyone stayed out. But in the meantime, out front we've got a nice little fight going on. It could be a three-way fight this if Hazard gets himself involved in it. But Magnus is trying to get on the inside on Matt Morris. This is a good little fight between them two. I think Kyle's catching up a bit, you know, on third and fourth. So he might well get something out of here. Are they going to go for the joker? No. I think Magnus changed his mind at the last minute. It looked as if he was going to take the joker, I thought, but I think he went too wide and thought, I'm going to lose too much time by doing it. So I think he's taking the gamble of staying out. It's worked for him so far. But obviously Matt Morris took the joker, but he's lost quite a lot of time in that as well. So I think Magnus made the right choice. Kyle's right back in on this. He's right back in with Matt and Hazard here. Although they have taken the joker, but again, for the umpteenth time, it doesn't take that much out of you this time round. Oh, Magnus, you went for it there, mate, and you ruined that. He ruined that and lost himself a fair bit of time into the bargain. I think that was going to be a joker lap there, but again, I think he's binned it and left it. It might cost him yet, but we don't know. Oh, there's a bit of touch in there in between Matsukic and Hazard, and I think as Kyle was catching up, but I think he overcooked it, and I think we missed him having a little crash there as he takes his joker lap anyway. So at least he's taking that. This is where it's going to matter now. Magnus needs to get this right. That's what he was trying to do before, trying to get that angle in so he could get some torque going in down that straight. Because he's trying to push it here through there. He gets a great line through, manages to avoid the side. He should come out in front. I think he's made some damn good time there. He's made some brilliant time there, in all fairness to him. That worked out very much in his favour. I don't know whether he did mean to try and take it in lap 2, but it worked out very well for him. He got a damn good race in on there. So Magnus takes the win, Matt Morris takes the second, Hazard takes the third, Matsukic takes the fourth. And go on, you got past the first one anyway. You did take a hit later on.
Getting that far, I didn't know what to do.
It all got to you at the end. To be honest, Magnus played it really well to get that, because I thought that was Matt Morris's race at first. It looked like it was Matt's race.
I was actually in too high a gear a couple of times around that one corner, and I actually just stopped dead, sort of. So
that was my kind of thing,
anyways.
Really. You do that, you lose like 2 or 3 seconds straight away, because you grind to a halt, and you put your foot to the floor, and not a lot happens. And by the time you've realised what you've done and taken a split second to flick the gears down, you've actually lost so much time, and then you're trying to gain again, so you lose more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something
I
learned.
never made it that far, so I didn't know what to do.
But it's fun, even though I was crap, which is what I expected. It was fun. I did that without any practice, but once I get some practice in, I can only get better. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. I just wanted to go in without any practice and just try it and just see what happened. And I did not exceed my expectations anyway. But no, that was a good race. I'd be interested to know if Magnus went to take the Joker on lap 2, because I thought at first he was going to take the Joker, but I think that the way that his car was positioned compared to Matt's, I think he decided not to go there, and then did the same thing lap 3 and did it on the last lap, but it actually worked in his favour, because he got a really good. That's when he tries to go super wide on the corner in front of it. He tries to go super wide, then he knows he's got the torque flying into the straight, and it's that did it for him. It's that won him the race for me, because he got to fly down the straight of the Joker lap then. But that was a good win. That was a good win for him. It was a good race. I don't think that'll do him any harm. He'll definitely be in the top 12. I would imagine he'll probably be in the top 3 or 4, certainly with that. So, the penultimate race of the evening.
Race 3, qualifying 4.
Which involves a Kenny, an Artem, a Ryan, a Harvard, and a Matt. There.
The Bear.
Yeah.
Not the Morris.
No, not the Morris, the Bear. Well, it could be a Bear Morris, but it depends on whether he's wearing any clothes, but that's another thing. So we got Harvard, who's on speed. We got Ryan, who's on berries. We got Artem, who's just, well, Artem.
On vodka.
Yeah, Kenny is on Shep. Yeah, you could get put away for that these days. Anyway,
and
I think
berries is on Dingles.
This will be interesting, because Matt has always done well from that. Mr. Care Bear. He's always done well from that.
Now is Matt going to be worried, since there's been a couple of jump starts? Is he going to hold back a bit?
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. That's the danger. But it's a split second thing, and it's split second wrong, then see ya.
Alright, he goes full out again.
Oh, we lost somebody.
There was a jump start.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Oh.
Off the front of the grid.
You know what I think happened? I think you might have seen the rear end of Matt's car moving, and I think he took a twitch.
It does mess with you when you check the car going. You think he's launched, and then you launch.
Yeah, and it might have caused a twitch, but hey, you're allowed to do it. You know, the game decides whether you've made a falsie. Yeah, it's a split race, isn't it? It's a 2x2 car race. But by the time the front two do the Joker, they might all come out pretty close. But they kind of slipstream in one another.
Battling in the front two.
And I think at the moment, for the moment, looks as if he might have had the run. Are they going to go? No, they're not. Is Kenny? No, Kenny hasn't either.
Kenny did take the Joker.
It didn't look like he was going in from the angle he came in up there, but maybe he thought he's lost the. Well, he's lost a reasonable amount of ground there.
Second again, yeah.
Oh, what was that? Was that a bit of lag?
He's hit the wall.
It looked. I wasn't sure whether that was lag or whether he did clip the wall on that one.
I think he might have clipped it. I saw his bumper come off there and it was already hanging. That's
But again, they're all. Oh God, he's gone way wide. Oh, he's gone way wide. So So at the moment it looks like Care Bear Matt's going to jump in and do his Joker. This is going to be really tight now because he didn't have that much of a lead, but he's thrown it round there. Oh, this is going to be tight. He's got it. He's going to come out. He's got it. Oh, he's got what he needs. There's one more lap to try and navigate. But at the moment, he's barring any disaster. He's got this, I think. If he just keeps it, as I say, keep it on the island. If he just doesn't make any mistakes, I think he takes this. There could be a bit of a battle.
Harvard is pushing their check.
Yeah, he's trying to gain. There could be a battle here for second and third.
But Barry's might take him before it's time.
Yeah, again, he maintained his pace through there. Well, in reality, there's only 1.5 seconds between all 4 cars.
There, Barry's and
oh, what's happened there? What's happened there? Has Harvard just gone wide?
No, they had some contact there. It was a tough part of the track, but he flipped your car, and I think they flipped one
the rear end. Yeah, could have done. I mean, that's where it gets difficult, but yeah, Artem. That's what happens if you get a bit twitchy, unfortunately. Harvard on speed in 4th, Berry's taking a 3rd, Kenny Shep 2nd, and Care Bear 1st, again in a pretty high class field.
It's a shame for Artem there.
Yeah, it's a pretty high class run, that. Everybody
but you
comfortably.
aren't the first one of the night. There's been a few DQs.
Yeah, so that doesn't mean the end.
In fact, with so many DQs, it levels it up again, because
yeah, there could be.
Now you don't know.
It could certainly give everybody a chance. I will say at this point, if people have heard me drinking tonight, it's because I've got no throat. My throat is sore. I've got no throat.
Alcoholic.
Yeah. I didn't have a voice 2 days ago, and I've been really struggling to keep it going, as you can maybe tell at times. But and believe it or not, during the course of this evening, I've got a blocked nose as well. Everything's happening this evening. It's brilliant. What more could you possibly want? And at the moment, somebody's using an angle grinder on my vocal cords, so it feels brilliant.
All right, so we've got Robin again, and it's on.
But I've made it to the end anyway, so I'm happy. Even though my headset didn't. My headset didn't even make it to the start, but hey ho. We can do these things. So here we go then.
Kamenachi always first in. He hasn't even been invited yet.
Wow, that's what I call
dedication.
Keen as mustard. Can't fault him for that. So we are on to race 22 of the evening, which is the last one. All to play for.
So will we see some big things, or will we see guys just trying to get through the race?
Yeah, they might just be hoping to get through. Well, at the moment we've got a Care Bear who needs to leave, so I know, Matt, you're a nice guy, mate, but sod off. So we should have...
Stop posting about your wins.
Yeah. This is so we have Shawnee, we have Helmer, we have Martin, we have Kamenachi, and we have Robin.
Martin won't be joining us. So.
This is true. So we don't have Martin, but we have everybody else, allegedly.
Everyone else below heck. Excuse my French.
Yeah. It's called somewhere. Multiple contact moments for me, but it was definitely lag. Yeah, that's what I wondered. As Berries was just saying that. That's what I thought it looked like. It's just the way it looked on the stream. But again, sometimes you're not always sure. But it did look like a laggy thing. The way it moved did look a bit odd. It wasn't the normal trajectory. There, that's the first time I've used that word tonight. And believe it or not,
that's a very big word.
This is going to be the first time I've used the word wildebeest this evening. I just thought I'd throw that one in.
Why would you use that?
Absolutely no idea. But it just
felt like it.
It just seemed a random word. It's like watching this is like watching rampaging wildebeest across the Serengeti.
Is that how you? That's how you pronounce it?
Yes. I've watched too many.
We say wildebeest.
Ah, Well, it's with the W, so I mean, if you're in Germany, it'd probably be a Wildebeest. Germans are probably a Wildebeest, something like that, you know. And if you don't do it, then they'll probably throw you in a concentration camp for years. But anyway, in the meantime, we have. Oh man, you're saying that? Who was owning these concentration camps? It was Comaneci, because they were Japanese. Believe it or not, because there was a TV series called Tenko that was all about it. But anyway, that's history, guys. So will this be in the next 3 or 4 minutes? So last race of the night. Who's going to take the plaudits for this one? Who's going to help themselves get into the final 12 for Wednesday night? Who's absolutely going to bin any hope they ever had anyway? Apart from me. But you never know. We are ready to rock and roll from Shawnee, from Comaneci.
We've got something not right here. What? Somebody is in the wrong car. There's 2 Renaults.
There is. Is it? Yeah, there are. We do have 2 Renaults. It's not Comaneci's in the normal car, isn't he?
No, Comaneci is a Renault, so he's right. It must be Helmer.
What's Helmer normally in? Is he an
He's
Audi
in an
as well?
Audi.
He is an Audi. Ah, you're in the wrong car.
Ish.
Oh dear. We know what that means.
Oh, he's retired.
It doesn't normally mean that though. I was meaning it meant a 10-second penalty, wasn't it? That's what I meant.
Oh, jump start. 2 cars left. Barry Enser jump starts. Oh, and contact. What's going on?
No. Oh dear, man. Oh.
I think Comaneci is a bit confused as well as to if this is a race.
Yeah,
or not.
yeah,
Because
I think you. But again,
I
it's
think
a
for
race.
a few seconds there he was wondering where everyone was.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a pause, wasn't there? I think because more than one car had disappeared, I think he was maybe thinking it was a reset lobby. But hey, in other sports they'll say play the whistle. In this one, it's just race until somebody says don't.
Yeah. They should add that to like the next game. They should have like a way to tell people, like an alarm or something to press.
Yeah, something that gives them a heads up on what.
Yeah.
On what
like
is.
the director should be able to make a noise somehow with like an alarm.
Or even in a perfect world, if the director had direct contact with the drivers as well, that they could just flip. That would be a really good idea. Without having to do it in the way that we do it.
Is if you get a bad director, he's just going to be flipping you the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, in reality, if people are doing it properly, it could be done that way. At the moment, it's too much of a mess about to do. It's too picky to try and flick between one and another all the time, because you've got to go into a menu, then change the bloody party chat to game chat, and then faff about. If you could just press a button which would move you from one to the other while you had your finger on it, that would be great. Anyway, in the meantime, we've got a 2-man race, so really and honestly, these 2 guys have got a chance to lay down something quick. But obviously what they did at the start...
with that contact at the start.
That's really... I mean, they might have had some damage off it, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Doesn't look it.
The overall time would have been affected, because those other guys have just done clean races.
Yeah, which would have done much better than that. The idea is... Even if
They're
you might
still going to beat me, but...
This is tight. I know it's the last lap. Has he overcooked it yet? No, he hasn't. He's held it. See, the other thing about being able to turn like that, there you go. That was, considering it was only 2 people, it wasn't actually a bad race to finish off with. And again, there you go.
Fun
Look at
to watch, but I think overall it probably wasn't the fastest.
Decent lap times, but total race time, wasn't really going to cut it because of what happened in the beginning. But hey ho. That brings.
And that's it for tonight.
Yeah, that brings an end to that. Obviously, if I don't know if we got the chance to sort of let you know who's topped the qualifying leaderboards, but anyway, what we will do afterwards, if you jump onto our Discord later, if you can see it, it's across the bottom of the screen. Most of you know where it is anyway, because I'm sure most of you are in it. If you're not in it, that's the address at the bottom. have a look in there. Come and view what's in our Discord. You can see all our leaderboards, etc, etc. They'll all be in on there. And like I say, we'll be back on Wednesday night for finals night, which I will pretty definitely, obviously, not be partaking in, unless the world becomes a triangle.
I think I'll be joining you on the watching seat. I don't think I could take as much of a beating there as I did on the track today.
You could be a glutton for punishment. I mean, if there is a special trophy for battered and bruised of the season, I think you're way out front right now for what that's worth.
Yeah, probably, to be honest, Stephen and Jacques also didn't have the best of luck. Stephen with his crazy flip.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was definitely move of the evening. So we've got some provisional standings, by the way, before we go off air this evening. Ably brought to us by rapidly aspiring berries. So we have Jonaskini, if we're going to call him by his proper name, which is probably something like that. He takes first place with Mr. Bocco Bomb, otherwise known as Magnus, taking second place, who might well have taken first if it wasn't for round 3, I think, where he binned it. Ryan, as in Mr. Matt Care Bear, is into third. So that's our top 3 for this evening, which, in all fairness, probably over the piece. You'd have probably said those 3. Matt Morris was also decent when he didn't get himself binned. But again, that's what's living on the edge, isn't it? That's what happens.
It was sort of predictable that those were the 3 standouts tonight.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. There were some close races, and I think as the season progresses, I think you'll get more of that, which is cool.
Obviously, these are subject to change. If there's any incidents that get dealt
any
with.
protests and things that can happen and do happen. I think we did quite well tonight. There were a few, I mean,
there was this contact, but I don't think anything was too. I mean, it was more accidental, I think.
Yeah, no, and just to add there, Robin was just asking, will Q4 restart? No. The answer to that, mate, is no. If it's done on a false start or whatever, or if you're in the wrong livery,
there was
penalty,
no disconnect.
Yeah, the penalty is only 10 seconds, I believe, if you're in the wrong livery. So you would have still been in, but obviously, if you leave by your own accord, then unfortunately that's not a restart, mate. So sorry about that. Anyway, like I say, that's your top 3 provisionally. And the leaderboard, obviously, we don't tend to put that up at this point in time because it can be subject to many changes and it would be far too convoluted to put it like that. So, again, have a look on our Discord. Probably by tomorrow night, hopefully we'll have a finalised board. If at the worst, it'll be done sometime on Wednesday. But hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll have it for tomorrow night. But until then, we will see you Wednesday, 7 PM. Have your tea early. Sit down, grab your popcorn and watch us crash. Well, actually, no, you won't, because these are the decent guys on Wednesday night. You can watch them race.
Yeah, the crashes probably won't be racing.
unless, of course, weird things happen. And weird things can happen. So, hey, from me and from Mr. Crashamundo next to me. You are. That's what I mean now. Your new nickname has to be Kyle the Crasher.
Yeah, that's
not the Crusher.
With the name, I think.
The Crasher. Yeah. That'll definitely do.
Totally crashed it.
Definitely. But it was all good fun and all in the best possible taste, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, I've been mouth to mouth. I've been motor mouth. See, my mouth is tired. It's scared now. It's had enough. So have you lot. Anyway, see you Wednesday. Have a good night.
Cheers.